LA Galaxy is presented by Herbalife. Nutrition for a better life. SNHU. See yourself succeed at snhu.edu. StubHub. Hey Galaxy fans, StubHub is your ticket out. StubHub is the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the LA Galaxy. And Toyota. Let's go places.
Well, after a week of tumult, we get back down to business. It's MLS Soccer coming your way here on LAGalaxy.com as your LA Galaxy gets set to take on the Seattle Sounders. Christian Miles in the hot seat tonight alongside former Galaxy goalkeeper Dan Kennedy. Dan, a lot to talk about. I don't know if we can cover it all here in our pregame segment, but certainly we look at a lot of the headlines this week. A new coach, a new designated player, and perhaps, just perhaps, a new beginning for the Galaxy.
Without a doubt, Christian, you know, this just shows you how ambitious this club is. And it's tough when you hire a coach and you can't give them the entire season to kind of sift through all the changes that were made. But nonetheless, the games keep coming, the ball keeps going forward, and you have to find a way to get results. And the decision to place Sigi Schmid at the head coaching seat as we look down here at the StubHub Center is a massive decision at that, but comes with perfect timing as they host the Seattle Sounders. So it's going to be a great night.
It's dripping with irony. It's back to the future a year and a day after he was dismissed as head coach of the Seattle Sounders, and 14 years after his departure here from the then Home Depot Center, now the StubHub Center. He is back, and indeed a case of back to the future. You look at Sigi, some are calling it a retread, some are saying, hey, you don't go back to someone you had before. How do you see it? Is he the right guy to take this team forward?
Well, I definitely think he has the ability to be the right guy to take this team forward. I think there's some questions still to be answered with this group, and you see the signing of Jonathan Dos Santos, who won't be available until maybe next week. But these are the types of moves that this club's willing to make and has made over the years that has allowed them to set themselves apart from every other team in Major League Soccer, has allowed them to win 5 championships, which Sigi Schmid has been a part of. And I just think that if you look over the history of this league, there's only a couple coaches that really stand out, and it's Sigi Schmid, it's Bruce Arena, and it's Bob Bradley. So if this is a transitional state for this club, to me, you want one of those guys taking the reins and putting it back together.
Well, only 2 coaches have guided the LA Galaxy to MLS Cups, and one of them is back on the touchline tonight. It's a welcome back home for the SoCal man himself, Sigi Schmid, taking the place of Curt Onalfo as the hiring was made just 48 hours ago. We'll talk about Sigi a little bit more in our next segment, and we'll break it down with the newest face of the LA Galaxy roster, Jonathan Dos Santos, coming over from Villarreal of Spain as the newest designated player. All right, we're going to take a quick break, but keep it right here. It's LA and Seattle, and it's only on LAGalaxy.com.
Over the course of a single game, LA Galaxy players will spend 90 minutes fighting for the ball, going on goal, sprinting, sliding, jogging backwards, running almost 7 miles, while maintaining an average heart rate of 160 beats per minute. And they'll perform at this world-class level 31 times a year, powered by Herbalife Nutrition, the official nutrition company of the LA Galaxy. To power up like a pro, contact your Herbalife independent distributor or visit Herbalife.com today.
Tonight, some of the greatest artists, performers, and athletes in the world will be pouring their souls out at stadiums and theaters across this city. Tonight, thousands of fans will lose themselves in a sea of like-minded strangers. We still have a few tickets if you'd like to join. We know this may not be a convenient time for you. We know it's not easy to get out. But something amazing is going to happen tonight. And we think you should be there. StubHub, your ticket out.
Scarves up, wheels up. Buckle up, LA, for non-stop flights to more than 38 cities nationwide with Alaska Airlines. As fans of one of the most decorated clubs in league history, it's only right that you get tons of non-stop access to your favorite destinations, including many road games from one of the finest airlines in the land. Pack your bags, pack your jersey, and pack your full 90 for non-stop flights to cheer on the Galaxy when they go on the road. Scarves up, wheels up. Buckle up for non-stop flights on Alaska Airlines.
It's a new era for the LA Galaxy. with new players and familiar faces. For the past 22 years, our goal has remained the same, to be the last team standing. This is LA on Saturday, August 12th at StubHub Center. Five-time MLS Cup champion LA Galaxy take on New York City FC. Purchase your tickets today at lagalaxy.com/tickets.
At Southern New Hampshire University, we have just one goal: your success. As the official education partner of the LA Galaxy, we're dedicated to helping the entire LA Galaxy family succeed, and that includes their fierce, die-hard fans. Choose from over 200 online degree programs and gain the skills and expertise you need to succeed in your field. Visit snhu.edu/LA Galaxy.
76 introduces The Long Cut, spending a little extra time exploring the open road. We even made a fancy new TV commercial, and we're going to have our director describe it.
It's like we see these guys, and they're like, what's a long cut? Boom, they're all like, whoa, this is awesome. And then they're at a 76 station, and they're like, time for gas. And then it's like, and that is pretty much what the commercial is.
Anyway, we want to hear all about your long cuts, too. Share yours today using the hashtag 76longcut. 76, we're on the driver's side.
Kickoff just about 12 minutes away. We welcome you back to LA Galaxy Soccer here on LAGalaxy.com. Christian Miles alongside Dan Kennedy. Ziggy Schmid getting set to make his re-debut here in just a matter of minutes. A man who won the MLS Cup back in 2002, guided them to the final back in 2001. He's tasted a lot of success along the way with Columbus and the team he's going to face tonight, Seattle. But there's another new face in town, Jonathan Dos Santos, who comes in as another designated player. Jelle Van Damme's contract is bought down, so Dos Santos, along with his brother, become the second and third designated players. There seems to be a plethora or glut of central midfielders in this team right now, Dan Kennedy, but I want to get your take and your opinion. What do you make of this signing of Jonathan Dos Santos, and how can he make the Galaxy better?
In this league, with how it functions and operates, with designated players, salary budgets, strategic purchases is what it's all about. And a lot of times, it's timing and market and when players are available and if they fit within your system. And now you're seeing this trend of buying younger players. And Jonathan Dos Santos fits that role. He's a younger player in the prime of his career that, if you have not seen this guy play in terms of two-way midfielder, light, I think he will transition into this league as seamlessly as Alessandrini, though I don't expect as much goal and assist production from him. But he can control a match in the middle of the park. It's very, very impressive how good he is, and I think it's a great signing for LA Galaxy.
Well, we'll see what happens. Jermaine Jones not exactly fitting into the mix. He could be the odd man out. That situation will play itself out as the season develops here, but certainly a lot to talk about. The Galaxy in the midst of a very poor run right now. 5 consecutive defeats, 6 losses here at home, which is equal to an LA Galaxy record. It has got to get better, and perhaps these new faces, these new signings can be the catalyst to kickstart this LA Galaxy season, because remember, folks, it's a team that finds itself only 5 points out of the playoff mix. This season is far from lost. All right, we're going to continue to roll on here on the Galaxy pregame show. Christian Miles and Dan Kennedy, we're back with starting lineups next, right here on LAGalaxy.com.
It's a new era for the LA Galaxy, with new players and familiar faces. For the past 22 years, our goal has remained the same, to be the last team standing. This is LA on Saturday, August 12th at StubHub Center. Five-time MLS Cup champion LA Galaxy take on New York City FC. Purchase your tickets today at lagalaxy.com/tickets.
Have you considered a long cut, Gary?
What's a long cut, radio guy?
That's not my name, Gary. Don't be rude. A long cut can be anything. First, you go to a 76 station for gas, then you go anywhere else, like that paintball place.
Don't those things hurt?
Come on, Gary. A long cut can also be a stop at that barbecue shack.
It's like 8:15 in the morning.
A long cut is taking some time to explore anything the road has to offer. Fuel your long cut with top-tier gas from 76. 76, we're on the driver's side.
If you've ever had a full count with bases loaded in the bottom of the ninth, or if you've ever zoned in on the top corner of the net, then you might know the thrill of playing at San Manuel Indian Bingo and Casino. Because only one casino is all about the thrill. San Manuel Indian Bingo and Casino. All thrill. Please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Galaxy fans, Papa John's has a new offer for you this season. Every Galaxy game day, get 50% off your online order of regular menu price items using promo code GALAXY at papajohns.com. That's right. Cheer on the Galaxy every game day with 50% off your entire online order at Papa John's. Enter promo code GALAXY online at papajohns.com to redeem better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, official partner of the LA Galaxy.
Over the course of a single game, LA Galaxy players will spend 90 minutes fighting for the ball, going on goal, sprinting, sliding, jogging backwards, running almost 7 miles, while maintaining an average heart rate of 160 beats per minute. And they'll perform at this world-class level 31 times a year, powered by Herbalife Nutrition, the official nutrition company of the LA Galaxy. Power up like a pro. Contact your Herbalife independent distributor or visit Herbalife.com today.
StubHub Center, can you read me?
Copy that.
We've identified an extraterrestrial aboard the spaceship. He's been secured and is open to questioning. Cosmic being, what do you want?
I'm here to gain intelligence from Earthland. You are in possession of the colorful and fizzy liquid I seek.
You mean Shasta?
Yes, I consumed Shasta and had the ultimate reaction. Equal parts fizz, fruit, and fun. I wish to experience all the Shasta. These flavors are out of this galaxy.
Oh, we've got the perfect place for you. At the StubHub Center.
Bring them home, guys.
It just has to be Shasta, the official soft drink of the LA Galaxy.
And welcome back to the StubHub Center, the second of 3 meetings between the Seattle Sounders and your LA Galaxy. The weather today in Los Angeles, 74 degrees, a balmy 69% humidity here in Carson. The weather report, of course, was brought to you by Alaska Airlines. And time now to take a look at tonight's starting lineup, brought to you by City National Bank, the official bank of the LA Galaxy. And we begin with the home team. The Galaxy are going to make a couple of changes from the team that lost in New England last week. Pele van Aanholt, one of the new signings, not the newest. The Dutchman makes his debut at right back alongside Daniel Steres, Jelle Van Dam, and Ashley Cole. Brian Rowe will wear the gloves in goal. Jermaine Jones and João Pedro in the center of the park with Alessandrini, Gio Dos Santos, Emma Boateng, and Giassi Zardes back from international duty to lead the line. So 2 big changes. Who stands out for you tonight in that first 11, Dan?
Well, I look at Pele at right back. I think this is the most complete defensive lineup that the LA Galaxy have really been able to put out in quite a few weeks, and good reason to why they've lost 5 games on their trot is because of their defensive woes. So hopefully this is something that takes them in the right direction.
That's something Ziggy Schmid has addressed in the lead up to this one. For Seattle, they're also going to make a couple of changes from the team that beat San Jose. Leerdam in the back along with Torres, Marshall, Fry in the goal with Roldan, Svensson, Jones. Lodero comes back from suspension, and Clint Dempsey gets the start alongside Will Bruin. All right, it's time for our last break here at the pregame show. When we return, we'll have the first half. It's LA and Seattle next on LAGalaxy.com.
LA Galaxy is presented by Herbalife, nutrition for a better life. SNHU, see yourself succeed at snhu.edu. StubHub. Hey, Galaxy fans, StubHub is your ticket out. StubHub is the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the LA Galaxy. And Toyota. Let's go places. It's a new era for the LA Galaxy, with new players and familiar faces. For the past 22 years, our goal has remained the same, to be the last team standing. This is LA on Saturday, August 12th at StubHub Center. 5-time MLS Cup champion LA Galaxy take on New York City FC. Purchase your tickets today at LAGalaxy.com/tickets.
You know what, son? Shasta Red Pop always brings me back to fireworks at the lake on the 4th of July. I can still hear those fireworks popping.
You know, I've always been a tiki punch kind of guy. Sounds like a ukulele at a luau.
Oh, California Dreamin' always brings me back to the surf and the sun of the California coast.
Remember all the Fiesta punch we drank at that backyard fiesta? If it sounds like flavor, it just has to be Shasta.
Scarves up, wheels up. Buckle up, LA, for non-stop flights to more than 38 cities nationwide with Alaska Airlines. As fans of one of the most decorated clubs in league history, it's only right that you get tons of non-stop access to your favorite destinations, including many road games from one of the finest airlines in the land. Pack your bags, pack your jersey, and pack your full 90 for non-stop flights to cheer on the Galaxy when they go on the road. Scarves up, wheels up. Buckle up for non-stop flights on Alaska Airlines.
If you've ever had a full count with bases loaded in the bottom of the ninth, or if you've ever zoned in on the top corner of the net, then you might know the thrill of playing at San Manuel Indian Bingo and Casino. Because only one casino is all about the thrill. San Manuel Indian Bingo and Casino. All thrill. Please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Come in now and get the 2016 you've been waiting for at Toyota's annual clearance event. Save big with an incredible $2,500 factory cash back on a new 2016 Camry, $2,000 back on a new Sienna or the redesigned Prius. Get $1,500 cash back on a new Corolla or $1,000 back on a new Tundra. It all ends September 6th, so hurry in before they're gone. Must take delivery from 2016 new car dealer stock by midnight September 6th. Offers may vary by region.
When you buy or lease any new Toyota, you get Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan. Toyota Care covers normal factory scheduled service for 2 years or 25,000 miles, whichever comes first. There's even lockout protection and 24-hour roadside assistance. See your Toyota dealer for details and exclusions. Valid only in the continental U.S. and Alaska. Toyota, let's go places.
LA Galaxy is presented by Toyota. Let's go places.
21 games into the MLS season, a case of back to the future as Ziggy Schmid makes his second debut nearly 13 years after his departure in his first stint as LA Galaxy head coach. In a match that is dripping with irony, he takes on the team that dismissed him 1 year ago today as the LA Galaxy lock horns with the Seattle Sounders for the second time this season. Christian Miles alongside former Galaxy goalkeeper Dan Kennedy. We're hoping this one doesn't transpire like the first meeting between these two at the StubHub back in April. LA flat out played off the park, 3-0. Ziggy comes in here. It's a whirlwind right now, along with the Dos Santos signing. What's his first order of business, Dan?
You got to secure the back line. You got to get everybody back on the same page. Talk about team defending. Make sure you don't give up too much in the back. And then this is a team with the likes of Ima Boateng, Giovanni Dos Santos, Alessandrini, Giassi Zardes that can get you on the counter, get you on the attack, so you don't have to commit too much forward too early. Let's kind of play this game slowly, play ourselves into it. You mentioned it back in April. This Seattle Sounders team was very, very good here at the StubHub Center. Ladero kind of just drifting all over the park, pulling the strings. They tried to overload the back line of the LA Galaxy, so I'll be interested to see if they can get all 4 or 5 attacking players from Seattle up high again and try to play that turf war from the beginning.
So LA again tacking the goal to the north end. Their home woes very well documented. A team with the worst home record in Major League Soccer looking for their first win in over 3 months. As Giassi Zardes starts it off in the attacking half, a little drop of the shoulder, pulls it back in, not a bad start. An easy grab inside the 6 by Stefan Frei, the Swiss-born keeper for Seattle. And a player here, Dan, Giassi Zardes, rediscovering his confidence while on international duty with the USA at the Gold Cup.
Well, Giassi Zardes logged a lot of minutes for the national team over the past 2 years, and maybe it took its toll because he's just kind of had some knocks and some injuries, and it's affected maybe his form a little bit, but I think more importantly, it's just affected his time on the field, and that's where you get really sharp. So now, another stretch of the national team was extremely successful at the Gold Cup. You imagine he brings that same sense of confidence back into this group.
Now Ziggy Schmid making a couple of changes from Kurt Analfo's team that lost at New England in that 4-3 thriller on the road. What a great display it was, but LA coming away without anything, and now Zardes back from international duty. A lot of these players coming back into full fitness, and now just might be the perfect time for Zardes to rediscover his form after going down with that knee injury last year. Meanwhile, Jermaine Jones cleans it up in the center of the park, locates Roman Alessandrini, who's been sensational this year. He's wide on the right, and here's Pele van Aanholt, his first touch in Major League Soccer for the Dutch fullback. Big signing brought in nearly a month ago, and after playing his way into fitness and training, gets his first taste of action tonight.
Well, you see immediately ball goes, switches the field, and he takes off and gets up the pitch. So, like Ashley Cole, you're going to see a bit of an outside back here that has the willingness to get into the attacking third.
Nice.
So, more importantly now, Jermaine Jones, João Pedro organizing when both the outside backs are attacking.
And bolstering the attack is Ashley Cole making that run. It drops for Pedro, who had a go. It set up nicely on the volley just outside the box. So LA coming out and flexing their attacking muscles early. And the question is, Jermaine Jones and his relationship with João Pedro, those two, quite honestly, not on the same page for large stretches of this season, as Ziggy Schmid pretty much going with the same system that LA's been playing with, 2 in central midfield, 3 in front, and that one attacker being Gyasi Zardes as the lone striker. That, of course, very fluid and could change as time develops. Pedro loses out. Christian Roldan has his pocket picked by Gio Dos Santos, is looking lively and perhaps bolstered by the news of his brother joining the team on Thursday from Villarreal. Here comes LA's new designated player, but here's Gyasi Zardes looking for his first goal of the season. He's brought down inside the Seattle half at a free kick awarded by referee Armando Villarreal. Well, if there's been one bright spot here, Dan, LA looking exceptionally proficient on dead balls, as we saw last week at New England, namely Daniel Steres.
Well, what happens is Daniel ends up being the mismatch because you have Jelle Van Dam, Jermaine Jones, Gyasi Zardes, all big bodies, and Daniel Steres is the one that has the best timing. So smaller player ends up marking up with Daniel, and he's the one that really becomes the mismatch on these dead beats.
Alessandrini takes it, and it's cleared away by Roldan. Boateng knocks it back for the retreating Pele van Aanholt. Spent his season, of course, at Willem II in his native country, but really made his name at Heerenveen, where he played for 7 seasons, the former club of Michael Bradley. Meanwhile, that long ball from Van Dam picking out Roman Alessandrini. Silky touch from the Frenchman, trying to play it through, but nicely tended to by that Seattle defense, anchored by Roman Torres and Chad Marshall. Space now for Alessandrini. Gio trying to work his way through, and not this time, says Chad Marshall. Good pairing in the back for Seattle, a team that's really difficult to beat. This time, though, Daniel Steres, who finds that loose ball, sending it well high of Stefan Frei. Seattle coming into this game in the 5th position in the Western Conference and finding themselves 8 points clear of LA in the 9th. Good news, however, despite all the doom and gloom, that 5-match losing streak, the terrible performances and results here at home, LA folks only 5 points out of that last playoff spot currently held by Vancouver Whitecaps. So plenty to play for and plenty of time to salvage something positive from this season.
Well, Christian, no one knows that more than this Seattle team. As we mentioned prior to the game, I mean, Ziggy was fired a little over a year ago, and the Seattle team was bottom of the table of the West and really searching for answers, and they went on to sneak into the playoffs and win the MLS Cup.
Interesting, of course, actually finishing 4 points below LA in the Western Conference standings. Long searching ball, great defensive play at that time by Daniel Steres, as it was intended for Will Bruin, and Daniel Steres continues a wonderful display this season, quite possibly LA's best defender along with Ashley Cole. So the first corner of the evening going by way of the men in rave green. Christian Roldan, the native of Pico Rivera, via University of Washington, and coming off his international debut with the U.S. men's national team earlier this month. He's standing over it. And a glut of defenders inside the 6 for the Galaxy as it's belted in, and out comes Brian Rowe, who looked very sure-handed on that, and that definitely put a smile on your face.
That's, I mean, one of Brian's greatest attributes is his ability to take crosses, and we saw that exactly on that set piece. Why? I mean, his timing, his decision-making, he knew he could gather the ball and hold it, didn't need to punch. Brian's a very strong goalkeeper in the air in this league.
Yeah, Brian Rowe, of course, his 3rd game back from groin injury for Major League Soccer competition, and has really looked the part. Steady performances, I guess you could say. Wide on the left-hand side, Lodero releasing the fullback, Tolo, who puts in a dangerous ball and a big foot from the Belgian Jelle Van Dam to cut it out. Well defended by the Galaxy center half. Jermaine Jones cleans it up. Here's Pele van Aanholt. That cosmopolitan influence continues for the Galaxy. João Pedro, the Portuguese, first-time touch wide for the Dutch fullback. Interesting about Van Aanholt, can play a lot of right back. Played his last 2 months of the Eredivisie season last year at left back by necessity through injury. So nice to have that flexibility and versatility, but certainly his preferred position on the right-hand side of that back 4. And a back 4, I might add, in desperate need of solidity right now, as the Galaxy have let in 37 goals this season, already just 2 less than the entirety of the 2016 campaign. Here's Pedro, just inside his own half, and onside. Gyasi Zarza checks up his run wide on that right-hand side, has Alessandrini, surveys his option. Here's the Frenchman who drifts wide, cuts it right back. Svensson, nice-looking cross, but slightly overhit for the tiny yet speedy Emma Boateng. Ashley Cole tracks it down and keeps the move alive, but gives it away in the process. The touch from Jovan Jones, whose role has changed with the emergence of Tolo Nuhu on the left-hand side of that Seattle defense. And here come Christian Roldan and the Seattle Sounders. It's played forward for Will Bruin, who's in the offside position. Just mistimed his run a little bit, but you want to talk about a guy on form right now. Will Bruin raising a lot of eyebrows, especially with the absence of both Jordan Morris and Clint Dempsey on international duty with the USA.
Yeah, Will Bruin coming from Houston in a trade to Seattle last season, and coming from a Houston team that was very much struggling across the board. And sometimes, you know, just a new, fresh environment can rejuvenate a player. And Will Bruin's, I'll tell you from experience, he's a player that you just don't really want to play against. He just kind of always has the knack to make it hard on his center backs that he's playing against. He's always fighting for the ball.
Old-fashioned center forward, right?
That's right. And even though he's a big guy and you think of him as a point man, as we saw him just get offsides on that prior run, he's willing to make those little darting runs in behind. His timing's pretty good, and he usually finds a couple good opportunities a game.
Well, good movement there from Pele van Aanholt, but better defending by Chad Marshall, who read the channels well. Goal kick now for Stefan Fry. Van Aanholt showing his attacking instincts coming forward from that right back spot. Will Bruin definitely up to the cause this year. 7 goals, tied with Clint Dempsey for tops on the team. No goals here, 10 minutes down. LA and Seattle meeting for the second of 3 meetings this season. While we've got a moment, single game tickets to each of the Galaxy's home matches at StubHub Center during the 2017 MLS regular season are now on sale. Tickets start as low as $25. Purchase today. Call 1-8773-GALAXY or head to the website lagalaxy.com. Brian Rowe gives it a ride straight up to midfield. Tolo Nuhu losing out on the header to Roman Alessandrini. Jones keeps it in play, but gives it away for LA, and a silky touch from Pedro to pick out Gio Dos Santos, who shows for it at midfield. Big switch now for the Ghanaian-born winger, Emma Boateng. Puts it on that left foot, trying to pick out Zardes. Marshall intercepts as it drops for Pedro. Crisped up here from LA, or winning style points as we speak. Leerdam, another Dutch fullback, gets the block in on Boateng. LA keep it alive behind Ashley Cole. Well, they've come out with purpose and looking very confident despite the poor run of results. And Zardes played in, but that was going to be a tough angle. Had to beat the keeper and Chad Marshall as it comes out of play, and another goal kick for the Sounders.
Well, working on 12 minutes into this match, and I would say LA Galaxy have had the better run of it. From the opening whistle, you see Emi Boateng and Giovanni Dos Santos really active. Giassi Zardes playing the lone striker, but he's finding himself in different positions and just kind of popping up in different places on the field to give the attack for the Galaxy just a different look.
Really not an out-and-out natural center forward is Giassi Zardes. Reverts to those wider roles. Here's Dempsey tucking in underneath. Dempsey! Took one from about 20 yards out. Not enough power to beat Rowe, who makes another sure-handed grab. Clint Dempsey, of course, becoming the all-time goal-scoring leader alongside Landon Donovan for the USA during their recent Gold Cup triumph, culminating on Wednesday with that win over Jamaica up in Santa Clara. Here's Roman Torres reading the channels well from the hard-working Roman Alessandrini, and it's cleared away by the big Panamanian, only as far as João Pedro. He's really shaken off that poor start to his Galaxy career and looked the part in the center of the park. Meanwhile, Jovan jumps roaming forward now for the Sounders, adjusting to his new attacking role, lays it off for Lodero, the talented Uruguayan, who had free run of it 3 months ago when these two last met at StubHub. A game that LA will soon want to forget. Found themselves down 3-0 at halftime. Goals from Dempsey and Morris, sandwiching an own goal from Ashley Cole. As Seattle walked out 3-0 winners. Thrown on the far side for Seattle. Just trying to weather the early storm for this new look LA Galaxy. Ziggy Schmid at the helm. Jonathan Dos Santos, who came over just under $6 million US from Spanish side Villarreal. Not expected to join the team until midweek, after the next week, until the paperwork is finished. And Bruin and Dempsey just get their lines crossed. And you know, Dan, you've been around the domestic game. In case of Dempsey and Bruin right there, perhaps a little bit of rust as Dempsey tries to reintegrate with his club teammates.
Clint Dempsey, I mean, he has the ability to pull out some really tricky plays, and sometimes he has such class, he can do it, and sometimes it overcomplicates the situation there. He's running across the field, decides maybe to play the ball with his right foot, which the ball's set up, it should be probably played with the left, but he decides to play it with the outside of his right, and it just wasn't a good pass. The idea, the connection, I think, was there from Bruin. He was running off the ball.
He'll just play out that right shoulder, and Will Bruin shadowing the big Seattle striker. Meanwhile, down the right-hand side, Seattle committing the foul, and it comes out, rather. It'll be a throw-in for the Galaxy. So a midfield quickly take it on the free kick, restart, back to Jelle Van Damme. Downgraded to less than DP after being bought down through targeted allocation money, but he's happy nonetheless. It's just a label as far as he's concerned, to make way for Jonathan Dos Santos, who may be ready for next weekend's clash on Sunday, away to the Portland Timbers. Into the Seattle half goes Roman Alessandrini, walking that tightrope, and Pele Van Aanholt gives it a whack across the field and cleared away. Really no risk defending that time from Kelvin Leerdam, their new right fullback, and a corner kick coming up for LA. So the Galaxy looking to prosper. Already scoring 2 goals from free kick situations. A team that only has found the back of the net here 10 times on their home ground. Only DC United have scored fewer goals in their home games this season. So it's got to get better. Perhaps now is the moment. On the stroke of the 15th minute, Alessandrini with that magical left foot standing over. And it's a great delivery right off the head of Leerdam. It drops back for Alessandrini on this near side. Belts it right across, and rising was Daniel Steres as it skims off the head of the big center half. Not bad, though, in the delivery, once again, spot on from Alessandrini.
Well, when you have a guy like Alessandrini standing over the ball, I mean, the players sense what's coming, and it elevates the game of the guys that are going to be attacking the space in the 18-yard box, and that's why this Galaxy team has had such success on set pieces. They found out early on how technical Alessandrini is and how great his ability is to serve in a good ball on those opportunities.
I raised a lot of eyebrows when he was given the snub for the MLS All-Star game coming up in just a few weeks. Dan Kennedy, a shake of the head. Can you believe it? Only 8 goals and 8 assists.
Well, I mean, this is a guy that should be in the conversation for MVP of this league.
Absolutely.
And he's not even going to the All-Star game. So a little bit of a disconnect there. I mean, nonetheless, Galaxy fans probably happy about it. They don't have to worry about him playing a midweek game and increased mileage and risk of injury.
Jovan Jones trying to pick out Clint Dempsey, and his international teammate, Jermaine Jones, clears it away. It pops out for the left back. Tolo, who lays it off for his defensive partner, Marshall. Into the Galaxy half goes Christian Roldan, picking out Leerdam. 2 Dutch right fullbacks tonight for both of these two. While LA is struggling, Seattle is flying right now. I mentioned sitting nicely in that 5th spot in the Western Conference, but 3 consecutive wins on a 5-game unbeaten run. Brian Schmetzer pulling the right strings once again. Ziggy Schmid's former assistant coach for nearly 7 years. Over 7 years. And what does that add to the game here? 2 guys that know each other so well. Ziggy obviously knows the players well.
Well, typically when you have a coaching change, there's always this nudge that it gives the team.
Now Lodero, good-looking move here. Dempsey in that pocket, found that spot between midfield and defense, and the backtracking Emma Boateng tending to it very well.
So the new coach comes in, everybody feels like a little bit of stress has been lifted. Everyone's back to ground zero, or you know, square
clean
one.
Slate,
yeah, clean slate, and they all feel like they have a chance to make an impact. So usually the energy at training is very good, and the energy in the first game is really good, and that's what we've seen so far. But the mind games, I mean, coaching is such a psychological game, and you know that Schmetzer and Schmidt both know each other so well and know what each other want to do in a game. And so I would imagine they're both very well prepped to play one another. I mean, the only difference is that Ziggy's been with this team for 3 days.
A big advantage to his former underling. Here's Pedro, who wins it back now, and here come the Galaxy into the Seattle half. Just tried to play the channel, but Alessandrini not making the run, so easily swept up. Seattle under a little pressure earlier, but growing into this game and having larger spells of possession. Match day 21 for the LA Galaxy. Match day 22. Seattle, of course, having played one more game than their hosts. Back to Christian Roldan, who likes to play a variety of roles in midfield. Not an out-and-out number 10, but not an out-and-out number 6 as well. He's certainly struck the right notes as of late. 3 goals in his last 2 games. Throw in on the near side at midfield now for Leerdam and the Sounders. Not too impressive on the road, just 2 wins in their 11 games on their travels. Jones, nice flick to keep it in for Emma Boateng. Into the center circle it goes now. Gio Dos Santos, this is where you want the magical Mexican. Good interchange with Alessandrini. Near side for Boateng. He's got speed to burn. He'll cut in and locate Van Aanholt. Not shy about getting involved in the attacking aspect of the game. Supported by Pedro, who sends one up onside for Boateng, just on the edge of the box. Lays it back. Alessandrini thought about the shot. Pedro has it from the top of the arc. Claims a deflection. The referee doesn't see it that way. And another goal kick for the Sounders.
I mean, really good stuff from the LA Galaxy. Giovanni Dos Santos, Alessandrini, you can tell their connections just continuing to build as they play more games together. Emma Boateng's been really sharp tonight, letting the play develop, not forcing passes. Lets it develop enough to where he can switch the point of attack. Really positive start in the first 21 minutes here for the LA Galaxy tonight.
While the end product has not been there for the Galaxy this season, they have put together some great moves, some great passing sequences against New England in the second half. Starting to take a page out of that book. Ashley Cole, meanwhile, makes the overlap. Back for Boateng, who defers to João Pedro. And he's more than content to just play that role of distributor in the center of the park. Van Aanholt.
Well, Christian, you touched on it. João Pedro, couple slow games, first 3-4 games, a little slow to get integrated into this league. And I would say since maybe game 5, He's done a really good job for this team. He's getting sharper, more confident on the ball, much better understanding of what he's up against every game. He plays such an important part in terms of position on this team. It's a massive factor in how results are produced, having a number 8 that sits in there and can kind of dictate the game.
He's had some partners switch out throughout the year, not just Jones, but Rafa Garcia as well, who's had to deputize Baggio Husidic, who's close to returning after a lengthy spell out with a broken leg. Wonder who's going to be the odd man out, with Jonathan Dos Santos expected to play a huge role in the center of the park. Meanwhile, the 35-year-old Jones claims it. Gio has some space inside the Seattle half. He's looking to pull the strings. Here's João Pedro. Did it take a deflection on the way out? No, and it's going to be a throw-in now for Seattle on that far side in Tolo Nohu. Here's Joevin Jones. So that's such a great game at left back in April against the Galaxy. Long searching ball claimed by Van Dam. It drops to the feet of Lodero. He's got one target. It's big Will Bruin. Defers, lays it off, and it's Leerdam who took it on the volley. The right back made a mesmerizing run, but unfortunately his shot not equal to it.
You see Brian Rowe and Jelle Van Dam having a conversation. Long ball was played in behind Jelle Van Dam. He dropped under it and decided to head it out, and that kind of put LA Galaxy on their heels. Gave Lodero the chance to get on the ball with some time and space, and that's really the last thing you want to let him do. The conversation was Brian Rowe needed to be calling Jelle off of that ball, or it has to be a clear shot away. And maybe that was it. Maybe Brian called him off that ball, and Jelle headed it away anyway. We're not exactly sure, but there's a conversation happened after the play.
We are sure that there were 2 balls on the pitch. Brian Rowe with twice the duty. He's got enough on his plate tonight. Send it forward. Seattle claim played out, and while we've got a moment, be there for the battle of the East and West when MLS superstars collide. Be there when Jelle Van Dam, Roman Alessandrini, and Jonathan Dos Santos take on David Villa, Andrea Pirlo, and NYCFC Saturday, August 12th at 7:30 right here at StubHub Center. And a match presented by Alcatel. Tickets start for as low as $25. Head on over to the website, lagalaxy.com/tickets. LA hoping the worst is behind them. Only 2 seasons in the history of this franchise, 2006 and 2007, have started worse than this 2017 campaign, but plenty of time to rectify things. Defense, the order of the day here, Dan, is called out by new head coach Ziggy Schmidt. Says the goals will come, but we need to plug the gaps in the back. And Giovanni Dos Santos getting stuck in to Roman Torres and winning the free kick.
Well, everybody expected that there'd be a massive transition with the exiting of Bruce Arena to the U.S. men's national team. There has been. Reality is there has been, and it just takes a little bit of time to figure out what the path forward is going to look like. And Ziggy's experience, I think, is going to be vital to helping kind of clear that path.
A different personality than the more stern and serious Curt Analfo, his predecessor. Ziggy, of course, a Southern California native, and really adopts those stereotypical characteristics as someone from this area. Is Roman Alessandrini in the offside position. Ziggy described by some as jovial, very laid back, has great relationships with the players. But hey, Dan, it's a guy, he's not afraid to call you out if you're not performing.
Oh, that's what it's all about, right? I mean, you're put in that seat to get the most out of your players, and you know, you develop with the amount of time that these guys spend together, you develop some really great friendships, bonds, connections, and with that, it's having the ability to respect the boss in charge, and if he tells you what to do, you follow line and you do it, or you have a conversation.
Seattle going right back to work. Jelle Van Dam shepherding that one for Brian Rowe as those two continue to build their understanding. It's so important, you know all too well, that communication line between the center halves and goalkeeper. Joevin Jones tended to by Pele van Aanholt, who I have to say, only 26 minutes into his debut and very much looking like a good addition. Still a long ways to go. Chip up, Jones, and The other Jones, Jermaine, able to get a foot in. Roman Alessandrini claims it. Zardes can't get to it before Chad Marshall does. Daniel Steris wins the header, and it drops to the feet of Van Aanholt. And it's Pedro who silkily slithers away from the defense. Big switch onto the near side for the galloping Ashley Cole. And here comes the Englishman. All 36 years of age, but looking spry and fit as a young 20-something. A touch for Van Aanholt. As LA will draw it back up. Jones trying to play it forward for Zardes. Nice interception by Seattle's Christian Roldan. Long ball played out by Tolonohu to no avail as it's chased over by Jelle Van Dam, who locates Ashley Cole. Wide open game here. Not closed off by any stretch. Zardes drops into his half. Cole for Pedro. Cole acclimating very well to his central midfield spot. He played a few times under Kurt Analfo. Back to his usual spot at left back, though. Or honestly, a player of his attributes is at his best. But wherever he's going to play, he's going to stand out.
Yeah, he can literally play anywhere on the field. His ability in training, you'd see it week in and week out. If you're playing on a small-sided field and you needed a forward, you could put Ashley up there and he'd score some goals for you. He's just a real quality soccer player.
Yeah.
And
yeah, the jury was out on him. I mean, the critics are out, the knives are out after that poor season at Roma. He was out of shape, to be honest. Had a pretty good first season with LA. This year, he's been off the charts. I remember you telling me earlier this season, this is a guy who's a demon in training.
all he does is train. I mean, he doesn't take a day off. He's 100% professional. He's everything you want from an international player, from the perspective of teaching young Americans what it's supposed to be like. It's just an absolute class act.
So Seattle in possession as we move to the 29th minute. Still no goals here at StubHub. And it was just at this point in the game in April in which Seattle drew first blood on that strike from Clint Dempsey, who at one time was thought to be coming to the LA Galaxy after the completion of his stint in Europe. Tolonohu, the young Cameroonian who had a breakout performance against Los Dos earlier this season, actually scored a goal against Mike Munoz's team, and a foul in the center of the park. A little bit of blood boiling between the Galaxy and Christian Roldan. I believe that's Gio Dos Santos.
Well, here we are 30 minutes into this game, and a little bit of coming together, a little clash of the legs with Giovanni Dos Santos. He's not usually one out there fouling, particularly getting yellow cards on fouls. But nonetheless, I mean, in April, when the Galaxy played Seattle, it was one-way traffic, Christian.
Absolutely.
Even though it was 30 minutes into the game, 0-0, and they went on to win 3-0, the entire game was one-way traffic. So this has been a really good start for the Galaxy.
Night and day, you could say, my friend. Well put. Meanwhile, Roldan takes the ensuing free kick, and the flick coming off the head of Chad Marshall. Out of play. No harm done to Brian Rowe's goal. Giovanni Dos Santos looking for his first goals in MLS since May. Part of the Confederations Cup team for Mexico, not part of the Gold Cup campaign, like his brother. Interesting to see what kind of a role Jonathan Dos Santos will play. A player you're very high on, can play a variety of positions, whether it's wide, deeper in midfield, or as an out-and-out number 8, box-to-boxer. Meanwhile, LA are right back to work. Nice foray forward. Pedro for Zardes, wide for Alessandrini, and this looks promising. It's Alessandrini 1v1. He goes to ground, and a referee having a word. Is it a penalty? Well, a shake of the finger, and he points to the keeper, Alessandrini, just stumbling under the pressure from the Seattle defense and Tolonohu.
Well, Alessandrini doesn't typically go down for no reason at all, and you see it. You see him put the ball on his left foot, as he often does. He can go both ways, kind of shovel it back in front to his right side and clip across, as we saw him do last week in New England for a few assists. And there may have been just slight contact with the defender on this play. Alessandrini goes down in a heap. Does look like he's looking for the penalty. I'd say the referee's right on this call, but not giving it.
That does go down. That would have been extremely harsh, and some words from the defender, Tolonohu, giving Alessandrini an earful who really didn't protest too much, and I think the truth lies in that. So no penalty from referee Armando Villarreal, who's to deal out a yellow card a half an hour in.
Well, Brian Schmetzger immediately asked the fourth official, why is that not a yellow card? If you deem that just a goal kick and a dive and no penalty kick, why isn't that a yellow card? And fourth official came back, explained something. So I think there may have been slight contact on the play.
Back to Fry under pressure. Not the best of distribution as he pops one up. Alessandrini, no shortage of work ethic in him, that's for sure. Jermaine Jones cleans it up in midfield, locates Zardes, but it's going to go all the way back. Free kick for Seattle, and a chorus of boos raining down on the referee. They thought they deserved better.
Another one, I mean, Ima Boateng getting in the mix here. Good, strong challenge. Little bit late, and that's what you're going to get called for a foul on every time. It's about timing. You got to make sure you get that timing right.
So here's Will Bruin bringing Jelle Van Dam out wide. Leerdam shouldering that attacking load at right back and loses that battle against Ashley Cole. Looking like the Ashley Cole of old there.
Timeless, this guy is timeless. He is ageless. He just keeps going.
Remember watching him galloping down those touch lines at Arsenal's old ground, Highbury, back in the early 2000s. Former Arsenal captain. Leerdam, meanwhile, on the long throw. Pedro back. It pops up off the head of Gustav Svensson, the Swede. He's operating the center of that 4-4-2. Pretty orthodox approach. No surprises from Brian Schmetzer in Seattle. Coming off 3 consecutive wins against San Jose, DC, and Colorado.
Well, I would say with Ladero and Dempsey in there, you have a 4-4-2 because these two guys like to just drift.
Yeah.
You always need to provide cover for them.
Here's Tolon. Thought about it and thinks about it again. And he gives this one a smack of the young Cameroonian well off target. And his emergence has led to a more attacking role farther up the field for Jovan Jones. And Schmetzer also, much like Kurt Analfo, forced to juggle with all the international absences. Here's Gyasi Zardes for the Galaxy now on the near side as they look to go right back to work. Still no goals between these two. 34th minute at the StubHub Center, and LA looking for just their second home win of the season. Seattle able to steer it to safety as Bruin drops into his own half, and the foul called. Free kick for the Sounders. You a little surprised, Clint Dempsey in the first 11 tonight?
I was. He didn't necessarily log a lot of minutes at the Gold Cup, but little travel, older player. I was surprised, and I thought if there was going to be one player that would have maybe started, it would have been Jordan Morris just because of his age. But he obviously played a massive part in that Gold Cup victory, and a very emotional game for him.
Big Gold Cup for both Jordan Morris and Clint Dempsey as the USA claim their 6th continental title. Back for Chad Marshall, the former Columbus crewman. They played for Ziggy Schmid while at the Crew and won the title back in 2008. Leerdam trying to pick out Bruin, and there is João Pedro just flinging himself out of nowhere and succumbing another corner kick to the Sounders.
Well, and with Chad Marshall, this is one of his greatest attributes, his corner kicks, both attacking and defensive, because he's a big body, really strong in the air, really tough to match up against. Ziggy knows Chad very, very well. Coaching him in Columbus with the championship, he was one of his first signings in Seattle because of it.
A lot of these players inspired by Ziggy Schmid making the trek. Also, Brad Evans making the trip over from that 2008 Columbus title-winning team. So Leerdam with the throw. Here come the Sounders, trying to unlock this Galaxy defense that's been pretty charitable this season. As I mentioned, 37 goals allowed on the campaign, 19 of which have come here at StubHub. Here's Lodero, who's been pretty quiet, so instrumental in that title run last year. Roldan Whips it right in. Torres still forward from that corner kick, and it comes out of play. And while we've got a moment, support the LA Galaxy Foundation and browse their in-game auction from the comfort of your very own home. Just text GALAXY to 52182 to register and start bidding on partly worn jerseys today by your LA Galaxy players. The auction will close 1 hour after kickoff, so hurry up and start browsing right now. Under 10 minutes to go until halftime. Nothing struck for the positive for LA, but no harm done at all as we are goalless at StubHub Center. LA, of course, embarking on game number 11 here on their home ground with a record of 1 win, 6 defeats, and 3 draws. And a determined Jermaine Jones wins it back at the center of midfield. Here's Gyasi Zardes dropping into that wider role, as we mentioned he likes to do. And they'll send it back to circulate for Jelle Van Dam way back in the Galaxy half. LA looking for that just a little bit more incision and penetration into that 4-man back line for the Sounders. Steris will revert to Brian Rowe. Jelle loves to hit those long diagonal balls, easily read by Chad Marshall, who has a wonderful sense of positioning in the center of that Seattle defense. Pedro, silky smooth touch, pocket of space. Alessandrini just trying to play it through. It drops for Zardes, who hits a worm burner straight to Stefan Frei. Presented a great opportunity for the USA International.
Gyasi Zardes has been extremely sharp this game. Ball falls nicely for him, and he just kind of gets stuck in between two minds. Does he want to put his laces down and drive through the ball for power, or does he want to open his foot up and bend it far post? And he just kind of got stuck in a bit of hesitation, and it cost him a real good look on goal. Probably the best look of the game so far.
Yeah, just a foot in by that Seattle defense, and it dropped kindly to Gyasi Zardes, who hasn't found the back of the net in his last 13 appearances coming into today. Meanwhile, a man down, and it appears to be Roman Alessandrini. He's very slow to get up, so a chance for Ziggy Schmid to take advantage of some time here to impart the latest set of instructions, because time really has not been on Ziggy's side, as he was appointed rather just 48 hours ago. And, you know, that short amount of time, the whole deal actually took place within the span of 48 to 72 hours. So a whirlwind week for the team and their new head coach. So Alessandrini shakes it off, and he'll be all right. Takes up his spot on the right-hand side. Jelle Van Dam will bring it up in possession for LA. Daniel Steris. I have to say, a better showing in the back here for the Galaxy than we've seen in recent weeks. And I remember a team we talked about the goals that they've allowed. Last 3 games, 11 conceded, highlighted by 6 against Real Salt Lake and that 6-2 defeat on the 4th of July. Here's Alessandrini, cuts in. Clever stuff. Lodero closes him down. It pops out wide for the silky smooth João Pedro, who nearly found his way past Tolo. Alessandrini, clever touch from Zardes, but couldn't link up with Alessandrini. It's tracked down by Van Aanholt, who does well to shield it from Christian Roldan. Throw into the Galaxy. Zardes, who's drifted wide on the right-hand side. Halfway into the Seattle half, Zardes calls for it. Alessandrini gets it back, drops that shoulder past Svensson, puts it on that left peg. Once again, seems to be at the right place every time, Chad Marshall. Alessandrini has a go, and once again, another low hit and comfortable from Stefan Frei. Shots are there, but those quality chances not quite coming frequently enough for Ziggy Schmid and company. It's a full-blooded challenge from Jermaine Jones, taking out Lodero, and Armando Villarreal quickly onto the scene. I wouldn't be surprised if Jermaine receives a booking for this. And now everybody from Seattle coming over to the touchline, and a war of words developing between LA Galaxy and the Sounders. Jelle Van Damme chiming in, along with Emma Boateng and Giovanni Dos Santos.
Well, from Jermaine Jones, I mean, the ball's running towards the sidelines. Lodero's got body positioning on it. I mean, the smart play is just to track him down and not commit to a challenge like that you're going to put yourself in a position to potentially get a red card. I mean, fortunately for Jermaine Jones, I think he tries to kind of hold back a little bit. He doesn't quite come across with his legs on any type of scissor action, and that's probably what keeps it a yellow card. But dangerous challenge for someone that's running away from goal towards the sideline, and you have a good position on him defensively. You can stand him up, no foul on the play, no chance for Seattle on the free kick if you're just a little bit more disciplined.
Fourth yellow card of the season, back-to-back bookings for Jermaine Jones. So free kick, Nicholas Lodero, who's back up and around, exchange a quick little high five with his old boss, Ziggy Schmid. This is where Lodero is at his best. The diminutive Uruguayan puts it on that magical left foot, whips one in, and there's Ashley Cole. It pops up, bicycle kick, nearly put in by Dempsey, who was in the offside position. Wouldn't have counted anyway, but the crowd liked it.
Well, I mean, this is just Clint doing what Clint does. I mean, he can literally pull a rabbit out of a hat on the field, and just actually a mishit cross by Lodero into the box. Ashley Cole can't quite get around on it, pops it up, not a good clearance. And Clint is just opportunistic, throws up a bicycle kick, and Brian Rowe has to come up with a good save, even though Clint was offsides.
Galaxy fans, pack your bags and fly Alaska Airlines to an away Galaxy match this season. Alaska and the Galaxy are offering you, the fan, the opportunity to support the team in Seattle with 20% off flights, a free game ticket, and a Galaxy backpack. Visit lagalaxy.com/flyalaska to book your discounted flight today. And it's broken for Alessandrini. On the gallop now as Dos Santos goes down on the edge of the box. All eyes to the referee, who's not at all interested. And more groans and a chorus of boos from these Galaxy fans. They thought they had another penalty, for the second time denied. We'll have to take a look at it on our review, but from initial glances, at least from my perspective, Dan, that might have been a little bit harsh against the Sounders, if you're being objective about it.
Yeah, I agree, Christian. Now it's about 44 minutes into this game, and you're right, it's opened up as well.
Yeah.
And you just now, as the game stretches out, Galaxy have had such a good start. You got to make sure you keep this Seattle team at bay. You haven't really given them too much in terms of their attacking options.
Here's Lodero, splits two defenders. Ashley Cole, great recovery. Jones drops into the defensive line. Good distribution out of the back, and they really put out the fire with aplomb. Good piece of defending and distribution by LA as it comes out to midfield, wide on the right-hand side for Alessandrini. What an acquisition.
Understatement. This guy's been superb. It looks like he's got a lot of soccer left in him. I think he's going to be good in this league for a long time. I mean, finding players that can come in and just turn a game on their head and have impacts week in and week out in a variety of ways. I mean, that's the thing I like about Alessandrini's game. He's just not one-dimensional. He can provide a lot of different flavors. He sets a good example in terms of how he works on the field when the ball turns over. He's willing to help his teammates out.
On the break is Seattle, and Van Damme fouls Clint Dempsey just past the center circle. 1 minute of stoppage time, and Jelle Van Damme, an obvious booking. Hard to argue with that one. And with that booking, Jelle Van Damme is going to miss next weekend's game at Portland. And it's going to be his third time he's suspended this season. And to add insult to injury, it's going to cost him $500.
And I'm sure he's less concerned about the money as he is going to be missing next weekend's game.
Good point.
It was a smart foul. Clint's on the break. The ball turned over in midfield for the Galaxy. You're in the dying moments of the first half. But it brings me to the next point in terms of game management. So you have Jermaine Jones, Jelle Van Damme, both on yellow cards. Those are the two enforcers for the LA Galaxy on the field. So now, moving forward for the next 45 minutes, they're going to have to play a really smart soccer game. You know, you can't get caught up in any tussles, any pushing off the ball, and you can't get stuck in a situation where you're picking up another professional foul.
8th booking of the season for Yella, who had 9 the entirety of last year's campaign. Dempsey switches gears just on the edge of that box on the corner as it drops back for Tolo Nohu. And that's going to do it. First half in the books. Dan Kennedy, your thoughts on what was an interesting first half?
I think that's a great start to Ziggy Schmidt's era here, or second stint with the club. It seems like the Galaxy had a little bit of confidence about them. They came out from opening whistle, were willing to put the ball in the attacking third. Seemed sound in terms of tactically and how they were organized on the pitch, and that's, for me, the most important thing, making sure they're putting a system out there that they can be successful with. So, really good start, but you're only halfway there and the game's still 0-0.
Well, coming up on the StubHub halftime report, we'll break down the first half of action between the Sounders and the Galaxy. Plus, we'll get you updated on all the other scores in and around the league. 45 minutes down in the books. Scoreline reads, LA 0, Seattle 0, here on LAGalaxy.com.
LA Galaxy is presented by Toyota. Let's go places. StubHub. Hey, Galaxy fans, StubHub is your ticket out. StubHub is the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the LA Galaxy. It's a new era for the LA Galaxy, with new players and familiar faces. For the past 22 years, our goal has remained the same, to be the last team standing. This is LA on Saturday, August 12th at StubHub Center. 5-time MLS Cup champion LA Galaxy take on New York City FC. Purchase your tickets today at LAGalaxy.com/tickets.
76 introduces The Long Cut, spending a little extra time exploring the open road. We even made a fancy new TV commercial, and we're going to have our director describe it.
So like we see these guys and they're like, what's a long cut? Boom, they're all like, whoa, this is awesome. And then they're at a 76 station and they're like, time for gas. And then it's like, and that is pretty much what the commercial is.
Anyway, we want to hear all about your long cuts too. Share yours today using the hashtag 76longcut. 76. We're on the driver's side.
StubHub Center, can you read me?
Copy that.
We've identified an extraterrestrial aboard the spaceship. He's been secured and is open to questioning. Cosmic being, what do you want?
I'm here to gain intelligence from Earthland. You are in possession of the colorful and fizzy liquid I seek.
You mean Shasta?
Yes, I consumed Shasta and had the ultimate reaction. Equal parts fizz, fruit, and fun. I wish to experience all the Shasta. These flavors are out of this galaxy.
Oh, we've got the perfect place for you. At the StubHub Center.
Bring them home, guys.
It just has to be Shasta, the official soft drink of the LA Galaxy.
At Southern New Hampshire University, we have just one goal, your success. As the official education partner of the LA Galaxy, we're dedicated to helping the entire LA Galaxy family succeed, and that includes their fierce, die-hard fans. Choose from over 200 online degree programs and gain the skills and expertise you need to succeed in your field. Visit snhu.edu/LAGalaxy.
Come in now and get the 2016 you've been waiting for at Toyota's annual clearance event. Save big with an incredible 0 APR on 10 of our best-selling models, including the 2016 Camry, Corolla, and RAV4. You can even get 0 APR on the redesigned 2016 Prius. Hurry in before they're gone. Financing through Toyota Financial Services to well-qualified customers. Must take delivery from 2016 new car dealer stock by midnight September 6. Offers may vary by region.
Now it's easier than ever to search for the best deal on a Toyota car, truck, or SUV. Just visit buyatoyota.com, the only official site for your Southern California Toyota dealers. There, you can locate a dealer, search our inventory, and find the perfect car with all our current offers. Save time and money. Go direct to the source, buyatoyota.com.
We make it easy on you.
Toyota, let's go places.
LA Galaxy is presented by Toyota. Let's go places. Shasta. Shasta, the official soft drink of the LA Galaxy. It has to be Shasta.
And we welcome you back to the StubHub Center. It's halftime between LA and Seattle. No goals between these two. And the re-debut, I guess you could call it, for Ziggy Schmidt. Christian Miles alongside former Galaxy goalkeeper Dan Kennedy. Galaxy fans, did you know that StubHub app is personalized just for you? Get the StubHub app today. Start at StubHub and let the fun find you. StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the LA Galaxy. All right, Dan, give me your first impressions here of Ziggy Schmid's first half here with his new team.
Very solid. If we compare this game to the one back in April when Seattle came here and absolutely just ran the show. It was one-way traffic, scored 3 goals, could have been a lot more than that. This Galaxy team came out with a good bit of character, willingness to go forward, seemed like they were sound defensively, and we mentioned it before the broadcast, but they're rolling out a lineup that has plenty of experience in this league, plenty of quality when you look across the team to get some results. So hopefully for Ziggy, this is a team that's getting healthier. The international schedule's a little bit less hectic in the coming months, and so you really have the chance to start building a belief in a group and have you turn this thing around.
All right, let's take a look at the stats here. And nearly 56% of the possession going by way of the Galaxy. We look at it in terms of shots, 6-5 as LA just shades it, 2-1 in terms of shots on target. Off target, both teams not hitting things quite correctly 4 times each. Not any blocks here, but the passing accuracy improved for both of these two, 82% for LA and 81%. I want to focus on the defense because that's where Ziggy Schmid said, hey, that is the focus. You're a guy that knows a lot about not letting goals in. What's your assessment here the first 45 minutes here in the back?
Well, I think defense is team defending, right? And I'll start up top with Yossi Zardes. I mean, his work rate when they had the ball was very positive, but his willingness to work and defend alongside Giovanni Dos Santos, Alessandrini, this group, this block of your first defenders up top is the one that provide a lot of relief for those guys in the back. If the forwards are taking time off, that's when the defense gets overwhelmed by numbers, and that's what happened the last time Seattle Sounders came here. So today what we're seeing is a collective effort that is allowing the back four only to need to deal with the forwards and the midfielders of the Seattle Sounders. And so it's a balanced look to this game for the LA Galaxy. They haven't given up any real great opportunities, and they're right in it. So it's a matter of now capitalizing on something that you can create.
Yeah, you really can't think of too many times where Brian Rowe has been called into serious action. However, looking very self-assured is the LA Galaxy goalkeeper when he has been summoned. All right, we're going to take another quick break here on the StubHub halftime report. When we return, we'll take a look at some scores elsewhere around the league. Halftime here in Carson, LA 0, Seattle 0 on LAGalaxy.com.
If you've ever had a full count with bases loaded in the bottom of the ninth, or if you've ever zoned in on the top corner of the net, then you might know the thrill of playing at San Manuel Indian Bingo and Casino. Because only one casino is all about the thrill. San Manuel Indian Bingo and Casino. All thrill. Please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
76 introduces The Long Cut, spending a little extra time exploring the open road. We even made a fancy new TV commercial, and we're going to have our director describe it.
So like we see these guys, and they're like, what's a long cut? Boom, they're all like, whoa, this is awesome. And then they're at a 76 station, and they're like, time for gas. And then it's like, and that is pretty much what the commercial is.
Anyway, we want to hear all about your long cuts, too. Share yours today using the hashtag 76longcut. 76. We're on the driver's side.
I'm Chris Klein, president of the LA Galaxy, and we're a client of City National Bank. When we look at our organization on the field and then off the field, we want to put together a great team, and City National has become part of that team. The business side of the game starts long before the whistle kicks off, from setting the stadium up to understanding how to sell tickets to watch our great team play this game. For our business to function, we need to have a reliable bank as part of our team. Our brand grows as the sport of soccer grows, and City National helps us bring Galaxy to the world. I love my job. I love coming to work every day and being part of an organization like the LA Galaxy. It's the team across the league that everyone looks at, that everyone wants to be a part of. Anyone that we're involved with, we want to be the best, whether the players we put on the field or who we bank with, and we have that with City National. City National is the way up for the LA Galaxy.
City National Bank, the way up. Learn more at cnb.com/LA Galaxy, member FDIC.
Over the course of a single game, LA Galaxy players will spend 90 minutes fighting for the ball, going on goal, sprinting, sliding, jogging backwards, running almost 7 miles, while maintaining an average heart rate of 160 beats per minute. And they'll perform at this world-class level 31 times a year, powered by Herbalife Nutrition, the official nutrition company of the LA Galaxy. To power up like a pro, contact your Herbalife independent distributor or visit Herbalife.com today.
It's a new era for the LA Galaxy, with new players and familiar faces. For the past 22 years, our goal has remained the same: to be the last team standing. This is LA on Saturday, August 12th at StubHub Center. 5-time MLS Cup champion LA Galaxy take on New York City FC. Purchase your tickets today at lagalaxy.com/tickets.
And welcome back. A couple of donuts on the scoreboard here at the StubHub Center. Halftime between LA and the Galaxy, as well as Seattle. No goals between these two. Shasta, the official soft drink of the LA Galaxy, with over 30 great flavors like grapefruit zazz, apple, tiki punch, strawberry, and California Dreamin'. Shasta has a flavor for every Galaxy fan. This soccer season, it has to be Shasta. Well, a balanced display, you could say. No clear-cut mistakes made by the LA Galaxy after a whirlwind week. Just moments ago, Jonathan Dos Santos unveiled to these LA fans who got a huge, uproarious celebration and a wonderful welcome from LA. He might be ready to join the team in Portland next weekend. He, of course, is expected to join up with the Galaxy after his paperwork is completed for training next week. Christian Miles alongside Dan Kennedy. We look ahead to the second half. Dan, before we take a quick break, what would you like to see more of here in half number 2?
Well, to be honest, I'd like to see more of the same from the LA Galaxy. I thought they were a team to have maybe a little bit of an edge if there was any, but in terms of where they've been in this past month, it's about getting it right and getting it right defensively. That's what they've done so far. Now, take it one step further. Can you create an opportunity in the run of play or take advantage of a set-piece opportunity when you have a guy like Roman Alessandrini taking your free kicks?
Well, statistically, it looks pretty good for LA. 6 shots, 2 of which have come on target, but not enough clear-cut opportunities for LA, something they'll look to rectify here in the second half. All right, we're going to take a quick break. However, when we return, keep it right here on LAGalaxy.com. We're back with the second half. LA and Seattle next.
LA Galaxy is presented by Toyota. Let's go places. It's a new era for the LA Galaxy, with new players and familiar faces. For the past 22 years, our goal has remained the same: to be the last team standing. This is LA on Saturday, August 12th at StubHub Center. 5-time MLS Cup champion LA Galaxy take on New York City FC. Purchase your tickets today at lagalaxy.com/tickets.
If you've ever had a full count with bases loaded in the bottom of the ninth, or if you've ever zoned in on the top corner of the net, then you might know the thrill of playing at San Manuel Indian Bingo and Casino. Because only one casino is all about the thrill. San Manuel Indian Bingo and Casino. All thrill. Please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Galaxy fans, Papa John's has a new offer for you this season. Every Galaxy game day, get 50% off your online order of regular menu price items using promo code GALAXY at papajohns.com. That's right. Cheer on the Galaxy every game day with 50% off your entire online order at Papa John's. Enter promo code GALAXY online at papajohns.com to redeem better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, official partner of the LA Galaxy. Scarves up, wheels up. Buckle up, LA, for nonstop flights to more than 38 cities nationwide with Alaska Airlines. As fans of one of the most decorated clubs in league history, it's only right that you get tons of nonstop access to your favorite destinations, including many road games from one of the finest airlines in the land. Pack your bags, pack your jersey, and pack your full 90 for nonstop flights to cheer on the Galaxy when they go on the road. Scarves up, wheels up. Buckle up for nonstop flights on Alaska Airlines.
Over the course of a single game, LA Galaxy players will spend 90 minutes fighting for the ball, going on goal, sprinting, sliding, jogging backwards, running almost 7 miles, while maintaining an average heart rate of 160 beats per minute. And they'll perform at this world-class level 31 times a year, powered by Herbalife Nutrition, the official nutrition company of the LA Galaxy. To power up like a pro, contact your Herbalife independent distributor or visit Herbalife.com today.
Tonight, some of the greatest artists, performers, and athletes in the world will be pouring their souls out at stadiums and theaters across this city. Tonight, thousands of fans will lose themselves in a sea of like-minded strangers. We still have a few tickets if you'd like to join. We know this may not be a convenient time for you. We know it's not easy to get out. But something amazing is going to happen tonight. And we think you should be there. StubHub, your ticket out.
LA Galaxy is presented by Herbalife. Nutrition for a better life. StubHub. Hey Galaxy fans, StubHub is your ticket out. StubHub is the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the LA Galaxy. And Toyota. Let's go places.
Second half coming up. Welcome back to LA Galaxy Soccer here only on LAGalaxy.com. I'm Christian Miles. Pleased to be joined by the man who used to wear the golden gloves, the one and only TV's Dan Kennedy in the hot seat tonight. Dan, getting set for the second half here. Sigi Schmid making his debut. Jonathan Dos Santos unveiled. The stars are out. Great halftime. And buckle up, folks. It should be a wildly entertaining final 45 minutes here as the Galaxy look for their first win here at StubHub in nearly over three long months. We shall see. No changes made by Sigi Schmid in his maiden match in his second stint. And likewise for Brian Schmetzer and the LA Galaxy kick us off here as they will attack the south end goal at StubHub wearing the white. And to the near side, it's another man who's making his debut, Pele van Aanholt, who had a pretty good first 45 minutes, Dan.
Yeah, and here he is on the ball again. It's his willingness to get forward that's going to kind of differentiate himself from maybe the standard back and outside back in this league. Galaxy wants to be an attacking club, you know, be on the front foot, and these are the types of players they have to capture in order to make that happen.
Yeah, one of those real modern-day prototypical fullbacks who likes to get forward and join in on the attack, but Seattle's won it back. Getting stuck in is an old-fashioned center half who likes to get forward. He's been around. Ashley Cole, who continues to do outstanding work on the left-hand side of that LA defense. An early ball played up. Bruin in hot pursuit. He goes around, and Bruin nearly finds his way through. It was a blown defensive assignment from Steres and company. Seattle right back at it as Jovan Jones locates the on-rushing Nicolas Lodeiro. And it takes a ricochet at the Uruguayan's foot. But what a dangerous moment that was as LA coming very close to disaster.
Well, that's it. I mean, this is just what Will Bruin does. He makes runs in the box. He's relentless. He's never going to give up. Massive body, good pace from the big man. And Daniel Steres tries to just body him off it and let the ball run on to Brian Rowe. Just not enough space in between him and the ball. Steres doesn't quite get enough connection. And it was a great opportunity for Will Bruin, but I'd say Brian Rowe comes up big enough in the end just to put off the opportunity and make him shoot it wide.
Good recovery from the man from Burbank, Daniel Steres, and Will Bruin. Everybody talks about his big body, prototypical old-fashioned center forward, but this guy has got some movement. He's also found the scoring touch, finding the back of the net 7 times, along, of course, with adding 2 helpers. 7 of those goals, or 4 of those goals, by the way, coming in his last 7 appearances. Roman Alessandrini continues his war with Tolonuhu, giving away off the free kick. Well, frenetic start here to half number 2. Both teams eager to start positively. So it goes back to Seattle's Stefan Fry in goal, who gives it a wallop forward, and this time a better defensive presence from Daniel Steres. It's claimed on the near side at midfield by Seattle's Jovan Jones. Trinidadian, of course, part of their World Cup qualification campaign and the team that lost last month to Bruce Arena and the U.S. men's national team. Van Aanholt gets ahead to it. Sends it across field for Emma Boateng, who drops into his own half. Christian Roldan able to sweep up the mess. A 4-4-2 for the Sounders tonight, with Will Bruin leading the line. Lodeiro wide on the right with Jones wide on the left. And Clint Dempsey just shadowing in behind the former Houston striker. There's Nuhu for Gustav Svensson. He plays in that deeper role, and that one miscalculated and played easily to LA's Brian Rowe. Both teams looking to settle in. LA on the back of 5 consecutive defeats. Meanwhile, Seattle soaring right now. 5 unbeaten in MLS. 3 consecutive wins. Really sparked by that come-from-behind 4-3 win against DC. The first team to come back from 3 goals down and take victory in MLS. Quite a feat. Very much a second-half team, as they say. We shall see. They've got the talent. Of course, Jordan Morris, one of those USA internationals available as a substitute on the bench. His international teammates, Gyasi Zardes as well as Clint Dempsey, getting the start in attack for both of their respective squads. Touchback from Bruin, who shows well in front of Van Dam. Played wide for Lodera, comes back in now for Leerdam. The Dutchman reverts to Big Chad Marcia, who's got some soft feet of his own. Jones. Christian Roldan, who crosses the midway line. Nuhu keeps it in. It doesn't look like the whole ball was out, and that's what Brian Schmetzer, the Seattle head coach, is protesting right in front of his bench, but LA only too happy to oblige on the throw-in. Little home cooking, just perhaps. Team with the worst home record in Major League Soccer, the LA Galaxy. Just 1 win in their 10 games so far this season. You look at it from a points perspective, 6 points taken. That coming from a possible 30. So it's got to get better. You've got to win your home games, as they say.
Well, in this league, all you have to do is win your home games, and you'll be a playoff team. So for the Galaxy, with how much success they've had on the road, if they can just solve this little issue they're having here at the StubHub Center, they'll be well on their way into sneaking into the playoffs.
There's 6 home losses, as we mentioned earlier, equaling a Galaxy record. 7 games without a win here at StubHub since they last defeated Montreal at the beginning of April. It was April 7th when goals from Alessandrini and Jermaine Jones steered them to a win over the Canadians. Wide on the left-hand side, and here's the aforementioned Jones. Great link play with Boateng, who releases Ashley Cole, cuts it back, pulls one over, just bamboozling the defense. Alessandrini, it's sat up on the volley. Zardes should have taken it first time. The chance slips by. It's Pedro, who hit one from outside the box, but straight to the goalkeeper, Stefan Fry. LA surely with a great opportunity, their best chance here, at least for the second half.
Yeah, Gyasi Zardes found himself with the ball on his feet, 12 yards out from goal, and he elects to take a first touch, which is fine. It was just a little tight to his body, so it didn't allow him to run onto the ball and strike it, and that just gave the defender enough time to clear it, and then it fell to Joao Pedro, who had a great chance. I mean, he took 2 touches to settle the ball, and Stefan Fry read it well, gets his feet under him, and just makes the save look very easy.
So throw in here for Pele Van Aanholt in the LA Galaxy, the second of 3 meetings between these two. LA have lost their last 2 to the Sounders here at StubHub, most recent of which was a 3-0 thrashing back on April 23rd. Goals coming from Dempsey, Jordan Morris, and an own goal from Ashley Cole. And quite honestly, it might have been one of the worst performances of 2017.
Yeah, I agree. It was a tough game for the Galaxy. It started asking a lot of questions about what this team was going to be about this season.
Game where you saw some real questionable tactical adjustments and decisions. But that's in the past now. Roman Alessandrini trying to skip past Gustav Svensson. Takes a stumble. I'll tell you what, he's just undeterred. A tireless engine is the young Frenchman. You mentioned all the stars that have headlined here for the LA Galaxy, namely David Beckham in the past. back to Luis Hernandez, even Mauricio Cienfuegos. Stars are actually made as well, because everybody was raising their eyebrows when Roman Alessandrini was signed. Not so anymore, and he's played in nearly, but Chad Marshall, once again, providing some good cover in the back for Seattle.
Well, the tides have just changed a little bit, Christian, in Major League Soccer, where it was before you were trying to sign David Beckham's after they had played their majority of their career in Europe, and they were kind of fading into the twilight of their careers. Now it's about finding
making the good buy.
The diamonds in the rough that are willing to come to Major League Soccer when they're 26, 25, 24, and they have a lot of soccer left, and they can build the majority of the body of work in their careers in Major League Soccer. And those players are out there. Jonathan Dos Santos yesterday in his press conference said that, playing in Europe, more and more players are interested about coming to the United States and being a part of this league. The reputation's growing internationally. The way that players are treated when they come here, it all adds up over time.
Hard to believe. It all started here 10 years ago with the signing of David Beckham, and chiefly responsible for bringing in such big names as Guillermo Barros Schelotto, Thierry Henry. We could go on and on. Perhaps the days are gone of signing those big names just for cachet value. They want the best contributor on the pitch. Roman Alessandrini has certainly been every part of that. Meanwhile, Joevin Jones takes over in possession for the Sounders here on this near left-hand side for the visitors. And Joevin Jones with a big switch of the field, far side for the right back. Kelvin Leerdam has been given plenty of space. Chips one up. There is Daniel Steres winning the header against Will Bruin. Real interesting battle between those two. As Jones onto it now, getting deeper and deeper into the LA third. Tried that little tricky back heel at the top of the box, but it didn't quite come off for the Sounders as Gyasi Zardes claims possession on behalf of the hosts. And here comes Roman Alessandrini, long searching ball, trying to pick out Boateng. But once again, there is Chad Marshall, and that's just a little too obvious. However, Zardes gets it back, and this is positive. Lays it off for Alessandrini, trying to pull it back into the center. It goes for Boateng. Alessandrini gets it back, but once again, it's Chad Marshall. It puts out the fire. He's having himself a man of the match performance tonight.
Well, Tolo, the left back for Seattle.
And that one swooped in. An on-rushing Zardes nearly made contact. So two brushes with disaster here, Dan Kennedy.
Yeah, Tolo, the outside left back for Seattle, gets stuck on the ball, decides to try to draw the foul. Ref doesn't bite, puts the LA Galaxy with one of their best chances in the game. And Alessandrini just couldn't quite get the ball settled under his feet. Crossed it a little bit late on the first time, and then the second time he crossed it a little bit early and couldn't quite find anybody making a run in the box.
So back the other way we go. Dempsey for Leerdam. Dutchman just brought in now in just his third appearance. Nice little link play there. Dempsey at the top. Dempsey, and sliding in is Van Aanholt, who read that one. What great cover as he came all the way across into the heart of that Galaxy defense. Roman Torres, the bustling Panamanian, into the Galaxy half, joining the attack as it drops sweetly for Christian Roldan. And now here comes Joevin Jones into the penalty area, pulls it across. A great looking drop of the shoulder, but too much fizz and height on that cross from the Seattle winger.
Pele Van Aanholt showing some of his pace there. I mean, Joevin Jones, you're up against it. This is one of the quicker players in this league. Does a good job of driving at players, getting down the line, serving crosses, and Pele was standing with him step for step, no problem. Also with a greatly timed challenge at the top of the box to thwart Dempsey from going on goal from 18 yards out. So he's definitely had a good impact for his debut game for the Galaxy.
Long throw, Van Dam, the bicycle kick from Dempsey. And the kid from Nacogdoches, who really has a flair for the fantastic, sends that one high and wide. So Seattle flexing their attacking muscles here in the second half. Like the attacking posture from both of these two. Hasn't been a closed off game. Good crowd on hand, being treated to a show by some of the biggest stars on the continent. Dempsey fresh off that win against Jamaica on Wednesday. Part of that big Gold Cup winning team for Bruce Arena and the U.S. men's national team. But it's back to club business now. And Roman Alessandrini claims possession inside the center circle, but just gives it away for Chad Marshall. He seems to have that defensive telepathy, knowing where the ball is at all times. Boateng, good link play with Zardes, heavy on that first touch. He's got support though, and here come the Galaxy. Gio Dos Santos has been very quiet. Puts off a cross, a little tiny Emma Boateng with the header, sends it wide of goal. Well, the least likely of candidates to get ahead on that one, nearly made it 1-0.
Well, Giovanni Dos Santos floats the ball to the back door, and yeah, it's Ima Boateng there by himself. Ball finds his forehead, and he does the right thing. I mean, he's on his heels, so he can't quite get power behind it. Try to keep the ball in play, put it towards Stefan Frei's far post. He does that. It's not quite on frame. Galaxy players aren't quite tuned in enough to be running off of the ball or the cross. Goes out for a goal kick. Nonetheless, you had Stefan Frei scrambling quite a bit.
LA with a golden opportunity after the Real Salt Lake draw against Columbus earlier today to move level on points with Mike Petke's team. Season far from a wash right now. Everybody's written them off. Write them off at your peril. And here comes Nicolas Lodero. Wide on the right now for Leerdam. Seems to be the preferred weapon of choice over Brad Evans. Nice little drop. Center now for Bruins. Got some space, pulled the trigger. Great block from Danny Steres. Rolled on for Dempsey. Great understanding between those two. It's Christian Roldan. What an effort. Superb linking play just inside the box. And the kid from Pico Rivera was so close to unhinging this Galaxy defense.
Well, Roland scored 2 goals late last week to put Seattle back in the driver's seat in their last game at home. And here you see why. I mean, he gets a really good understanding of when Clint Dempsey is on the ball. He knows Clint's vision. Clint plays the ball into space. Roldan's running off of it. Has an absolute crack. Good thing for Brian Rote, sails over the crossbar.
Kid that reads the game so well. Christian Roldan. He's got a cannon of a right foot. Really growing into one of the better performers at his position in Major League Soccer. Coming out of the University of Washington and staying up in the Pacific Northwest, despite calling the Southland his home turf. Sure has a lot of friends and family in the stands tonight. And the Galaxy fans roar to life. Minute 61, an hour in the books. Still no goals between these two, and the time is now for the team with the worst home record in MLS. Can they turn it around? This is Pele Van Aanholt to midfield. Jermaine Jones checks back. LA content to keep possession as they probe and prod the Seattle 11. Long ball from Van Dam, too obvious. Torres heads it only as far as Zardes, and that's better skill from Jassy. A little bit of an around the world from the kid from Hawthorne. Here's Roman Alessandrini drawing 2 markers. Keeps it onside, supported by the Dutchman Van Aanholt. Good run from the right back and putting Seattle on their heels. Positive play resulting in another corner kick for the Galaxy. And this could be exactly what the doctor ordered. Galaxy scoring, of course, 5 times from corner kicks this season. Alessandrini puts it in, off the head of everyone, and nearly sat up for Boateng, if not for Clint Dempsey. Don't miss any of the action at StubHub Center next year. Join the 2018 season ticket member waitlist to receive the most up-to-date information on season tickets, including benefits, on-sale dates, and pricing. Go to lagalaxy.com/season tickets to sign up today. Alessandrini, 8 goals and 8 assists, tops in each department for LA. The former Marseille man who was so close, flirting with an international debut about 3 years ago for France and Didier Deschamps. Here's Ashley Cole, the former England international. Long searching ball onside for Alessandrini, and Tolo forced to head it out over his own byline. And another corner kick coming up for LA.
Well, great vision from Cole on the far side. I mean, you got Seattle's entire back line. LA Galaxy's Ima Boateng, Giassi Zardes occupied, trying to make runs in behind. Ashley Cole switches the ball 45 yards across the field on a dime to find Alessandrini. Now leads the Galaxy corner kick.
So up comes Van Dam. Jermaine Jones in there along with Steris. The flick on. Scramble in front of goal. Did it cross the line? No. There's a quick look to the referee's assistant from Armando Villarreal. My goodness. We talked about set pieces, specifically corners, being positives. It nearly paid off with the first of the night.
Referee actually called a handball here on Giovanni Dos Santos. Giovanni, pretty cheeky little play here. I mean, everything happens so quick inside the box, especially when there's a little deflection header towards goal. Giovanni's just tied up with the defender, and he swings his arm across it, gets his hand on it, in fact, puts the ball on frame. Stefan Fry up to the task, makes a great save down to his right. Ref does the right thing by giving Seattle Sounders a free kick out of their own 6-yard box for a handball on Giovanni Dos Santos.
Giovanni, naughty. Nearly got away with it. Pretty sly. Credit to Armando Villarreal. Johnny on the spot. Meanwhile, Jovan Jones serves one up. Met by the big right foot of Danny Steris.
So now it looks like Morris will be coming into the game. Jordan Morris just came off the national team in which he scored in the final for the Gold Cup. This is probably exactly what they had planned. Keep this game tight. If it is tight, then we'll bring Jordan Morris in, try to get something going for our attack.
Dos Santos wins it back, showing off the physical dimension. Locates a wide open Roman Alessandrini. He's drifted wide on the left-hand side. Marked up by Marshall. Crosses him over. Beautiful stuff. Alessandrini chips one up. There's Zardes. Heads it on. Not enough power to beat Stefan Fry.
So, Christian, what happens often is when the players, if you're in the box and you're going to have a header, you want to be attacking the ball. The minute the ball's up there and you find yourself backpedaling, it no longer becomes a shooting situation. You need to find a way to pass it because you just can't put the power on you need to in order to beat the goalkeeper there. Giassi Zardes tied up on his heels, can't quite get power on it. And in fact, he had Giovanni Dos Santos crashing through the box. Maybe could have had a pass instead of a shot for a goal scoring opportunity.
Yeah, great play from Alessandrini, but the ball just a little bit too far behind Zardes. So right back to work go the Sounders now. Leerdam puts off a good cross from the right, drops just in front of the 6, and Pele van Aanholt makes the smart choice defensively to send it out. Corner coming up now for the Sounders as big Jordan Morris ambles up to the 4th official, and he is going to come on, and this is very interesting. He scored the winner for the USA in Santa Clara, his 3rd goal at the Gold Cup, and a fullback, a defender sacrificed as Jordan Morris steps onto the scene for the first time in a long time for the Seattle Sounders. The last time he scored for his club was right here at the StubHub Center.
So Jovan Jones for Seattle Sounders steps to the left back role. Jordan Morris playing left midfield, loves to cut inside on his right foot. And he'll be looking to open this game up. I mean, he is a big boy, but nonetheless, he's got the ability to go 1v1. He's got great pace, and he plays on this left-hand side because he puts the ball on his right foot, and he loves to cut inside and go towards goal. So Seattle definitely making a move here to be on the front foot and try to go for the win.
And not content to take a share of the points. They feel that all 3 are there for the taking. Jordan Morris coming onto the scene with just 2 goals this season. He continues his evolution, the former man they used to call the Stanford Messi. Of course, won the national championship for Jeremy Gunn and company up in Palo Alto. Actually had a chance to go head-to-head with his teammate Christian Roldan. Those two, the best of friends. In fact, Roldan, even though he was one of the 6 players shipped out by Bruce Arena after the group stages, invited back for the final. Good to see Morris locking and really saluting Christian Roldan after scoring that winner. But here come the Galaxy, meanwhile, looking to draw first blood. Tricky stuff from Giovanni Dos Santos. Wide now for Giassi Zardes, where he's oh so comfortable. And he goes 1 versus 1 against Roman Torres. Smart choice made as Pedro arrives onto the scene to provide support as we hit the midpoint of half number 2. Zardes wide on that far left-hand side. Once again up against Torres, who closes him down. That's too easy for the Seattle defender. This one really turning into a tactical game of chess between two coaches that know each other like the backs of their own hands. The galloping foray into the attack that time from Steres, met by Seattle. Morris gets his first touch, full steam ahead. Jordy Morris pulls it back. Morris, my goodness, he is lightning quick. Got in behind and gave Brian Rose something to think about. It opens up on the counter. Here comes Boateng, trying to feed it through for Dos Santos, but too heavy for the Mexico attacker. What a sequence.
Well, now the game's all the way opened up. Jordan Morris, massive opportunity, puts it on his left foot. It's not his favorite foot, and you can see why. Floats in a little cross to Brian Rowe, gobble, gobble. He's going the other way with Ima Boateng, who's just flying down the field. I mean, really back and forth stuff. Both teams going for the win.
Now Bruin makes the run. He's got a tough angle, chips it back. Steres, beautiful clearance on a wide open net. And Bruin, his movement once again unhinging LA. This one is blown wide open now.
What a play by Steres. Back heel to keep it out of the back of the net and actually clears it from danger too.
There's a goal, Bruin, but who's going to grab it? Alessandrini playing it in for Dos Santos. It's scurrying off his line like a nimble Dan Kennedy is Stefan Fry.
So now we got Diallo coming in for the LA Galaxy. I'm speculating that he's probably coming in for Pele Van Aanholt on the right-hand side to play right back. They just put on a fresh Jordan Morris. Pele's just coming back into fitness. I'm sure they're looking at the 70th minute mark here, thinking it's time to get some fresh legs in and provide a little bit more cover.
Morris seeing this game alive, drops it on that right. Jordan Morris blocked by Yellow Van Dam. What an injection of quality Jordan Morris has provided, and right on cue, Dan Kennedy. It's going to be the Frenchman Diallo on for Pele Van Aanholt, whose 70-minute shift is in the books. And right now, Galaxy fans, you can see the future of your Galaxy when Ethan Zubak, Justin Dillon, as well as Miguel Aguilar and Los Dos get set to take on Orange County Soccer Club coming up on August 2nd at 7:30. Fans, you can save money by purchasing your Los Dos tickets in advance online at lagalaxy.com/2. So like for like, no tactical wrinkle, you could say. Perhaps losing a little bit of that attacking flair from that right back position with Diallo on in place of the energetic Van Aanholt, who was very impressive. And it opens up for Giassi Zardes. He's got himself in a 1v2 against Marshall and Torres. What can Zardes do? And just a foot in the spokes from Chad Marshall. Tough sledding for Giassi Zardes. He tries to go right back at it. Can't work his way through. Svensson took on a trio of Rave Green defenders. And guess who pops up in his own third? Jordan Morris, who links with Dempsey. They cross the midway line. Lodero, who's been especially quiet this evening, the Uruguayan drifting out wide on the left-hand side and plays it straight to the feet of João Pedro. Lovely first touch from Boateng, who skins his way past Gustav Svensson. This is great stuff. It's Zardes! Great move, but just lacking that final end product polish as Zardes sends it into side netting.
Well, whether Ima Boateng meant that first touch or not, it was lovely to watch. Splits the central midfielder for Seattle. Plays in a nice weighted pass to Giassi Zardes, who goes for power. Instead, he should just try to come across it a little bit more. Make Stefan Fry make a save to his far post. And if he can make the save, he's going to spill it. And Giovanni Dos Santos is right there to put it in the back of the net.
Zardes not looking exactly sharp on the finishing end tonight, but he, to echo what Bruce Arena said, hey, you know what? It's okay if you lose the ball. Just keep attacking. Do what you do. Be Giassi Zardes. The best of them always have what they call convenient amnesia. Forget the missed opportunities. The best is what lies ahead. And here comes Jovan Jones straight ahead. Dispossessed. It drops for Lodero. Center of the park now for Christian Roldan. Straight forward. Dempsey All to the top of the box for Will Bruin. Drop back. Here's Christian Roldan. And the block in from Jelle Van Dam. It pops out wide for Kelvin Leerdam. Met by the sweet feet of Ashley Cole, but Leerdam gets the best of him before LA on the ropes finally clear their lines. And just need to restore some sort of possession because this is at breakneck pace right now.
You're right, Christian. It's 74 minutes now. You got to make sure that you don't just let this thing run open for the rest of the game, especially now that they subbed on.
Nicholas Lodero for an onside. Jordan Morris squares it across just inside the penalty area, but no one arriving in support for Seattle, and a big break for the Galaxy.
So since they subbed on Jordan Morris, this has just become an open match. Seattle attack, Galaxy attack. Seattle attack, Galaxy attack. Something's going to give. You just got to make sure that you're at home. You're not on the end of giving. You're on the end of taking, right? So even if that's bringing Alessandrini back a little bit more conservative to make sure that when you get your chances, you can go, but you're not just giving them a free rein at the back four.
Jordan Morris, head up, drops it back, rolled on. They set up camp in the Galaxy half. Poor ball on the big switch for Kelvin Leerdam. The Dutchman does well to track it down. Here's Dempsey, likes to pull those strings. He can pop up everywhere, but Jermaine Jones wins it. And here come the Galaxy looking to break once again where they've been so dangerous. Boateng dropping centrally now, wide on the near side on the right. Here's Roman Alessandrini. Roldan closing him down, drops that shoulder. Have to say, good piece of defending, but Alessandrini does win the corner.
So now, I mean, you can see both teams catching their breath a little bit on this set piece. Jelle Van Dam organizing, telling people where to be tactically. You look at the matchup between Jelle Van Dam and Chad Marshall on set pieces, and you know, I kind of come from the space of, well, if you want to just take our man out of it, we'll take your man. Like Jelle does here, run Chad Marshall completely out of the play.
Alessandrini tries it again after the corner. Into the mixer it goes, and Morris comes away with it, locates Dempsey. That'll put a smile on Brian Schmetzer's face as his two goal scorers doing the dirty work in the back, Dempsey and Morris. Meanwhile, Brian Rowe claims possession now for the Galaxy as we head into the final quarter of an hour here at StubHub, where the Galaxy fans are crying out for a win. They haven't tasted since early April. Bradley Diallo, the Frenchman, for the German-born Jermaine Jones. And over for the Englishman, Ashley Cole. A lot of European flavor out there as the Belgian Van Dam trying to play it down the line. And Roman Torres just keeping it away from Giassi Zardes. Nevertheless, a throw now for LA. Have to say, both teams playing positive football tonight.
So often we hear about 0-0 games, and they're a bit boring, but tonight I've been entertained. I mean, I think this Galaxy team is taking a step forward in a tough week that they've had, and the Seattle team that's on a roll, five games unbeaten.
Back over it comes for Will Bruin. Everybody looking to the referee's assistant. He's onside, and Lodero in support, making that late run on the left. Sends a curler just wide of Rowe's goal. Second switch upcoming now, and here comes Bradford Jamieson IV, and he will check in for Emma Boateng, so a change out wide here, Dan.
Bradford Jamieson's actually done a fantastic job as a sub this season for the Galaxy. He's been a spark, provided a spark in Orlando. He's done it on multiple occasions, so now this is perfect situation for him coming into a game. Probably about 15 minutes left when you add stoppage time. He'll get his chance to, you know, put his imprint on the game. What I was saying earlier about Seattle's form and how even this game has been, I mean, this is one of the hottest teams in Major League Soccer. They've come here and had a real difficult time tonight.
The Galaxy much more difficult to play against, at least in the first 78 minutes, than we've seen in recent weeks. Jamieson, though, he'll switch over to the right. He's got Alessandrini wider on the right. Flag is down for the Frenchman. Trying to drop that shoulder, goes to the byline, pulls it back, wide open. Great chance for the Galaxy, but it doesn't draw or drop for anybody.
Well, Giovanni Dos Santos has his hands on his head. It just kind of gets his timing of his run wrong. Ball barely misses him. And it just seemed like, it just seemed like Alessandrini did enough there for that ball to get smashed in the back of the net.
So Jelle Van Damme sends it forward, and Jamison won't get there. Fans, you can be there for the battle of the East and West when MLS superstars collide. Be there when Jelle Van Damme, Alessandrini, and Dos Santos, as well as your LA Galaxy, take on MLS superstars David Villa, Andrea Pirlo, and NYCFC coming up on Saturday, August 12th, right here at the StubHub Center in a match presented by Alcatel. And tickets, of course, start for as low as $25. Head on over to the website, lagalaxy.com/tickets. Joevin Jones, 79 minutes deep, locates Jordan Morris, who's always a menace, feeling pretty confident despite not having scored in his last 9 appearances in a Sounders shirt. And that move for Seattle disseminates into nothing as LA starting to get on top of Seattle just a bit here with 12 minutes and change left. Gyasi Zardes content to occupy that spot wide on the left-hand side where he is so comfortable. Right now, Jamison partnering up top with Dos Santos. Meanwhile, Alessandrini reverts to his usual right-hand side roll, puts it on that left, and mishits it straight to the feet of Svensson. He's only too happy to oblige, and here comes Seattle looking to counterattack, and it's Diallo just pulling down Jordan Morris. Obvious booking here for Bradley Diallo.
Well, Diallo's decided to overlap Alessandrini. He's not rewarded with the ball. Alessandrini turns over, so counterattack opportunity. And immediately the response from Alessandrini and Diallo were very positive getting back. And it was Diallo that just pulled down Jordan Morris, finished the play, reset your defense. I'm fine with that tactical foul and taking that yellow card.
So he becomes the third man booked tonight for LA, along with Jermaine Jones and Jelle Van Damme. So Bradley Diallo will also be suspended next week at Portland as he receives his 5th yellow card of the season. And here's an interesting switch from Brian Schmetzer as Brad Evans comes on for Will Bruin. And that may be indicating that he's going to shut up shop and look for a share of the points. Very defensive move. Here's Joevin Jones for the Sounders.
Christian, as we've seen this game open in the last 7 minutes, these coaches saw the same thing. And that's exactly why Brad Evans comes onto this field.
It's a pinpoint cross from Jones, but uncharacteristically, Clint Dempsey not looking assured in front of goal as his header pops up just high from Brian Rowe's goal. And I guess if you look at it right now, if you're a goalkeeper, you're not making saves, your team, the rest of the 11 is doing something right.
Yeah, and as a goalkeeper, you're not really worried about making saves. You kind of just stay focused in terms of what's going on around you. If the saves come, great. You know, the most important thing is as the game goes on and you keep that 0, you do become more comfortable in the game.
And it's not like they're living dangerously at the back either. It's much more assured and organized. Sigi Schmid really prioritized the defending coming into tonight and said, hey, if we get it right in the back, the goals will come. They've still got plenty of business ahead. 82nd minute, Jordan Morris tracks it down. The former Stanford grad pulls it across into the box. He goes, takes a deflection off of Steris. Wonderful reactions from the keeper, Brian Rowe. Corner kick coming up for the Sounders.
Deflects in, off a deflected Jordan Morris cross. Brian Rowe stays with it well, just plays it safe, knocks it out. Corner kick for Seattle Sounders.
Lodero to take it on the outswinger. Marshall was forward. Tell you what, it was a quality delivery, but the glancing header wide of Brian Rowe's goal.
So now here we are going into the 83rd minute. Galaxy's put in a very good shift here. The Seattle team is kind of come a little bit more alive in the second half, as has LA Galaxy, but if you're managing this game correctly, you shut this thing down, you have a 0 for sure, and you'll create a couple more opportunities on the offensive end, and this is where you got to make most of your chances.
The margin so small, no margin for error as they speak. Goalless between these two. back for Diallo. Alessandrini didn't like the challenge from Joevin Jones, and Jones is going to be booked now for the Seattle Sounders.
I just love the way Alessandrini represents himself in this club on the field. I mean, he doesn't take anything lightly. Every play is important. Doesn't like getting pushed around at all. He's a fighter. He's gritty. He's got a lot about him, a lot of personality. He's a very fun player to watch.
Everything a DP or designated player should be. It's the former designated player, Jelle Van Damme, spraying it for the DP himself, Alessandrini, and that was always going to be difficult to keep on. So a throw-in coming up here for Seattle. Deep in their own third as Joevin Jones just sends it up. We're trying to relieve the pressure. The feet of Gio Dos Santos met by the Frenchman Diallo. Gio lays it forward. Here comes Alessandrini. Nice connection between the two DPs. But back comes Christian Roldan to break it up. Throw in for LA. Here on the near side. Is there going to be a late breakthrough? Can they send that spear through the heart of that that Seattle defense? Joevin Jones says, not this time, Roman Alessandrini. And a free kick awarded to Seattle.
And the Seattle players are asking for a yellow card for retaliation from Alessandrini. And they talked the ref into it. I haven't seen that. You don't see that too often. I mean, he held on to the card from the beginning. He saw the foul. He should have given the yellow right away.
The protests continue. So Alessandrini now becomes a fourth man caution for LA. He's on 4 yellow cards, now 5, but due to the fact that he's on the good behavior clause, meaning he went 3 consecutive games after his 4th yellow card without a caution, he's been given a reprieve. Given away in midfield, sloppy from LA. Clint Dempsey says thank you very much. And his USA teammate Zardes closes him down. Here comes Seattle. They're starting to grow in confidence. Full 2-footed challenge, and Jelle Van Damme came in 2-footed. And my, oh my, Dan Kennedy, he's lucky he's not seeing red. But he's going to be.
I'm just not sure what he's thinking. He leaves both of his feet, cleats in the air.
He's off.
And you know you're on a yellow card already, so you can take absolutely 0 chances on the field as is. Here we are in the 86th minute, and you leave your feet like that. I mean, the only way you go in on a challenge like that is to go in with some intent to make connection with the other player. And, you know, maybe a little frustrated because Ashley Cole's been put down in the middle of the field, but nonetheless, you got to stay disciplined for your team in order to see this game out.
We're looking at it on replay. When you come in 2-footed like that with studs up, lights out, automatic yellow. Automatic. Well, he could be given straight red on that, but it was his second yellow.
My biggest thing is that if you're 44 yards out, 43 yards out, where this free kick is set, where the foul was made, as a center back, this is not the spot on the field that you have to make a game-saving challenge. You make a game-saving challenge on top of the 18 if you got to make that. So he's got the option and the decision just to drop and play it safe and provide your team with some time, but now they're going to have to close this game out with 10 men without their captain. He was already suspended next game on yellow cards. That suspension is going to last a little bit longer now.
Already, of course, received his 8th booking earlier, meaning he was ineligible for next weekend's game at Portland. And now, of course, will miss the game after that against NYCFC on the 12th of August here at StubHub. That's going to really give Ziggy Schmidt a big curveball. The only positive from the situation is that LA have not burned their 3rd substitute. They have 1 left, and we're going to see Hugo Arellano come on, a player who's really made some waves coming up through the LA youth system, namely at Los Dos in USL. And it looked as though it was going to be Arellano, but perhaps a rethink here is Rafa Garcia He's conferring with Ziggy Schmidt and his brain trust.
So they made a tactical shift on the field already by putting Jermaine Jones at center back, a position that he's played with the national team before, familiar with the role. So now you decide to keep Ariano on the bench and you put Rafa Garcia in midfield to replace Jermaine Jones.
Here's João Pedro off some razzle-dazzle. The volley is there. And Dos Santos couldn't steer it on target. It all started with some sweet feet from who else? Roman Alessandrini. Excellent feet. Nearly unhinged them again, but it's really asking a lot of the LA Mexico International. Here's Lodero, drifted centrally now. Joevin Jones, this is dangerous, squares it across, did everything right. And while we've got a moment, hey Galaxy fans, it's not too late to order your half-off pizza from Papa John's. Every Galaxy game day, you receive 50% off all regular menu online orders by using promo code GALAXY. That's right, half off your favorite pizza to enjoy with a Galaxy match. Visit papajohns.com and use promo code GALAXY. Dos Santos off, Garcia on. And Ziggy Schmidt looks to shore it up, and that may see him throw up the flag, so to speak, and be content with a share of the points as they'll bolster things in the center of the park, down a man, and perhaps the smart choice made by the new Galaxy tactician.
Well, this is why a card like that hurts you. You lose your biggest body on set pieces, your center back, and then you have to take off one of your best attacking players. So now you're less effective on both ends of the field just by losing one player.
They've got to be careful. This would be a crushing blow. If LA concede late, one that would really hit these fan group right in the gut. And a brilliant win from Diallo. Played forward by his former Marseille and countryman teammate, Roman Alessandrini. A little French flavor for LA on the right-hand side here. Alessandrini going 1v1. He's confident against Jones, who stands him up very well. Back for Diallo. 91st minute, and Diallo curls one. Just a looping shot, easily handled that time by Stefan Frei. It's got to be better than that, Dan.
Yeah, it wasn't a great cross, just got stuck under it, lifted the ball up, Stefan Frei under it. Very comfortable save in the end. But this is about now. You manage this game, you're into injury time, you're down a man, get your blocks right, stay organized, stay compact, don't give Seattle anything. 0-0 tie is fine in this situation.
It's come out wide for Lairdam. Great ball for Morris, who couldn't get his feet right, and his first touch let him down. And LA dodged a big bullet. That early ball in just got him behind the center of that Galaxy defense. Tell you what, Lairdam has provided good service from the right for the Sounders tonight. 4 minutes will be added on. We are in the first minute allotted of stoppage time. Crosses midfield, and Roman Torres will defer to his goalkeeper, Stefan Frei, who fancies himself with his feet. But then again, it's hard to find a goalkeeper these days that doesn't.
It's the name of the game now.
Except Christian. The guy sitting to my right.
Just keep it simple.
Keep it simple. If there ever was a phrase that was quintessential to this game, that would be it. Lodero, 11 v 10. Seattle with a numerical advantage. Still goalless. The waning moments here, the dying embers at the StubHub Center. You get the feeling there's one last chapter to be written. 90 seconds gone to that 4 minutes of stoppage time. And here comes Roman Torres, and he'll wind one up. I'll tell you what, it was scary for Brian Rowe, but he had a line on it the entire way. Considering the advantage and the situation, Seattle should be able to conjure up something a little bit better.
Well, we saw they had success when the game was open. A little bit more space for them to run into. Now, Galaxy down to 10 men, have become more compact with midfield and defense, a little bit harder to break down. So you see them surging for opportunities like you just saw, a shot from 40 yards out. Galaxy will settle with that all day long.
Jamison flicks. The header controlled by Torres in the Seattle half. Svensson really unheralded in the center of the park for the Sounders. This is 9th appearance for the club this season. Here's Jovan Jones. In a little bit of space, he's got Lodero in front of him. Seattle content just to eat up these precious seconds. 2.5 minutes into that 4 minutes of stoppage time. Time is of the essence. Evans, who's central now, trying to play that channel run. Laerdam was there, and Zardes going back to defensive duties and clearing LA's lines for the time being. Svensson hits it long for Clint Dempsey. Tries to keep it in. It drifts out of play. Goal kick, and this may be one last thrust for the LA Galaxy. Can they snatch one in stoppage time? Team that has lost 5 straight games, 3 of which have come here at StubHub. Their last win back on the 21st of last month away to Colorado. So time is of the essence as we are well into the 4th minute. And Brian Rowe will give it a ride. Not the best of kicks, but it finds its way to Diallo, who sends it forward. A little bluff and retrieve that time from Jamison. Links up nicely with Alessandrini. And will there be a free kick awarded? Yes. And this is exactly what the doctor ordered for the LA Galaxy. And a chance to steal all the points here on what will be, quite possibly, the last kick of this game. And what a game it has been. So it's a one-man wall. Alessandrini standing over it. This is where you miss a yellow Van Damme. Zardes in the mix along with Steris, who has to be the chief target. It's Alessandrini, and right off the head of Roldan, and the referee calls it quits, and that will do it. A fascinating duel between 2 Western Conference rivals, and despite some end-to-end stuff, no goals between LA and Seattle. Positive result for Ziggy Schmid?
I think so. I mean, this is a very good Seattle team that's in good form. You compare that to the LA Galaxy, who've had a really tough month of July. Come back on top of that, really tough home form all season long. Ziggy comes in midweek, lots of changes. Looks like the group was prepared, collective, had a clear sense of what they wanted to do. So I'd say it's a good step forward for Ziggy Schmid and the LA Galaxy.
So the new era begins as LA, well, at least they stop the rot right now. They get their first point in the span of 6 games, and something to take positive into next week's clash next Sunday, August 6th, at the Portland Timbers. So when the dust finally settles, our scoreline reads LA Galaxy 0, Seattle Sounders 0. Keep it right here on the LA Galaxy Radio Network. We're back with a post-game show next on LAGalaxy.com.
LA Galaxy is presented by Herbalife. Nutrition for a better life. StubHub. Hey, Galaxy fans, StubHub is your ticket out. StubHub is the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the LA Galaxy. Start at StubHub and let the fun find you. And Toyota. Let's go places. It's a new era for the LA Galaxy, with new players and familiar faces. For the past 22 years, our goal has remained the same, to be the last team standing. This is LA on Saturday, August 12th at StubHub Center. 5-time MLS Cup champion LA Galaxy take on New York City FC. Purchase your tickets today at LAGalaxy.com/tickets.
Tonight, some of the greatest artists, performers, and athletes in the world will be pouring their souls out at stadiums and theaters across this city. Tonight, thousands of fans will lose themselves in a sea of like-minded strangers. We still have a few tickets if you'd like to join. We know this may not be a convenient time for you. We know it's not easy to get out. But something amazing is going to happen tonight. And we think you should be there. StubHub, your ticket out.
Scarves up, wheels up. Buckle up, LA, for nonstop flights to more than 38 cities nationwide with Alaska Airlines. As fans of one of the most decorated clubs in league history, it's only right that you get tons of nonstop access to your favorite destinations, including many road games from one of the finest airlines in the land. Pack your bags, pack your jersey, and pack your full 90 for nonstop flights to cheer on the Galaxy when they go on the road. Scarves up, wheels up. Buckle up for nonstop flights on Alaska Airlines.
At Southern New Hampshire University, we have just one goal: your success. As the official education partner of the LA Galaxy, we're dedicated to helping the entire LA Galaxy family succeed, and that includes their fierce, die-hard fans. Choose from over 200 online degree programs and gain the skills and expertise you need to succeed in your field. Visit snhu.edu/LA Galaxy.
Galaxy fans, Papa John's has a new offer for you this season. Every Galaxy game day, get 50% off your online order of regular menu price items using promo code GALAXY at papajohns.com. That's right. Cheer on the Galaxy every game day with 50% off your entire online order at Papa John's. Enter promo code GALAXY online at papajohns.com to redeem better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, official partner of the LA Galaxy.
Over the course of a single game, LA Galaxy players will spend 90 minutes fighting for the ball, going on goal, sprinting, sliding, jogging backwards, running almost 7 miles, while maintaining an average heart rate of 160 beats per minute. And they'll perform at this world-class level 31 times a year, powered by Herbalife Nutrition, the official nutrition company of the LA Galaxy. To power up like a pro, contact your Herbalife independent distributor or visit Herbalife.com today.
LA Galaxy is presented by Toyota. Let's go places.
And welcome back. The postmortem continues here on LAGalaxy.com. Christian Miles alongside former Galaxy goalkeeper Dan Kennedy. LA and Seattle, a balanced 0-0 draw. Fair result?
Fair result, and like you said, very balanced game. Both teams, couple opportunities, half chances at that. Neither keeper came up with a massive save by any extent of my imagination anyway. And, you know, but this is a good sign for the Galaxy because this Seattle team was in very good form. You know that this is a bit of a rivalry in some case, certainly with Ziggy now coaching LA Galaxy in his history with the Seattle Sounders. So a lot riding on this game. I think this is something LA Galaxy can build upon.
Yes, indeed, and the 4th clean sheet of the season for LA. LA, of course, and their new head coach said the order of the day, the priority is defending, and when you manage to not concede on your home ground in a place that has not been a happy hunting ground this season for LA, that's a massive stride forward. So a big positive here for Ziggy Schmid. Let's take a look back at some of the better individual performers. Our man of the match is brought to you by Herbalife. Herbalife, nutrition for a better life. And if you looked at it on the balance, certainly one of the standout performers for Seattle would have to be Chad Marshall. But who stood out for you from the LA perspective?
Daniel Stairs. I thought he had a couple key challenges in the back, particularly one when it was a 1v1 situation. Rowe actually does well to close the play down, gets beat, and Stairs flicks out with his heel to divert the ball away from goal, but yes, also clear danger. Daniel Stairs has been a really steady player for this club. It hurt LA Galaxy significantly when he missed time due to injury this season. 2 goals last week. I think he's coming back in form, and I would pick him for my man of the match.
I'll tell you what, defensively, it's not going to look good next week at Portland. Some disciplinary problems creeping up on the LA Galaxy. They lose Jelle Van Damme deep into this one with his 2nd yellow. He was already suspended due to yellow card accumulation for next week's clash at Portland, but they also lose Bradley Diallo on the right-hand side. I guess it's not going to hurt too much because Pelle van Aanholt, also one of those competitors for man of the match, a fine display on his LA Galaxy debut.
Great 70 minutes, really optimistic about his future here with the Galaxy. He came in, provided some really good cover at right back on the defending side, and then you saw his willingness and ability to get forward. So as he gets fitness, I think he'll sharpen up and be a real key contributor. You'll have Dave Romney coming back into the fold from suspension or from injury, hopefully next week to replace Jelle Van Damme. So there's going to be a couple changes, that's for sure. The other player that I thought was really good today is Joao Pedro.
Yeah.
He settled into this midfield role. I thought Jermaine Jones provided a little bit more cover than he has in the past this season to Joao Pedro, and he seems like he's starting to own this midfield. So now it'll be interesting to see him accommodate a Jonathan Dos Santos who can kind of do it all.
We shall see, of course. The Galaxy also getting Jack McBean back from suspension as he was held out of tonight's game to retroactive disciplinary measures from Major League Soccer. All right, our post-game show rolls on. LA and Seattle goalless here at StubHub tonight.
Come in now and get the 2016 you've been waiting for at Toyota's annual clearance event. Save big with an incredible $2,500 factory cash back on a new 2016 Camry, $2,000 back on a new Sienna or the redesigned Prius. Get $1,500 cash back on a new Corolla or $1,000 back on a new Tundra. It all ends September 6th, so hurry in before they're gone. Must take delivery from 2016 new car dealer stock by midnight September 6th. Offers may vary by region.
When you buy or lease any new Toyota, you get Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan. Toyota Care covers normal factory scheduled service for 2 years or 25,000 miles, whichever comes first. There's even lockout protection and 24-hour roadside assistance. See your Toyota dealer for details and exclusions. Valid only in the continental U.S. and Alaska. Toyota, let's go places.
It's a new era for the LA Galaxy, with new players and familiar faces. For the past 22 years, our goal has remained the same, to be the last team standing. This is LA on Saturday, August 12th at StubHub Center. Five-time MLS Cup champion LA Galaxy take on New York City FC. Purchase your tickets today at lagalaxy.com/tickets.
Over the course of a single game, LA Galaxy players will spend 90 minutes fighting for the ball, going on goal, sprinting, sliding, jogging backwards, running almost 7 miles, while maintaining an average heart rate of 160 beats per minute. And they'll perform at this world-class level 31 times a year, powered by Herbalife Nutrition, the official nutrition company of the LA Galaxy. To power up like a pro, contact your Herbalife independent distributor or visit Herbalife.com today.
Scarves up, wheels up. Buckle up, LA, for non-stop flights to more than 38 cities nationwide with Alaska Airlines. As fans of one of the most decorated clubs in league history, it's only right that you get tons of non-stop access to your favorite destinations, including many road games from one of the finest airlines in the land. Pack your bags, pack your jersey, and pack your full 90 for non-stop flights to cheer on the Galaxy when they go on the road. Scarves up, wheels up. Buckle up for non-stop flights on Alaska Airlines.
Tonight, some of the greatest artists, performers, and athletes in the world will be pouring their souls out at stadiums and theaters across this city. Tonight, thousands of fans will lose themselves in a sea of like-minded strangers. We still have a few tickets if you'd like to join. We know this may not be a convenient time for you. We know it's not easy to get out. But something amazing is going to happen tonight. And we think you should be there. StubHub, your ticket out.
Well, game 21 on the MLS campaign resulting in a draw this season. The LA Galaxy have to settle for their 4th draw in 11 games. Just 1 win in that stretch, the worst home record in Major League Soccer, but they take a step forward in their first game in charge for Sigi Schmid, nearly 13 years after he exited Carson in his first stint in charge of the Galaxy. Christian Miles and Dan Kennedy as the post-game show rolls on here on LAGalaxy.com. Time now for our lesson of the match, which is brought to you by SNHU. See yourself succeed at SNHU.com or .edu. Let's look ahead here, Dan. Of course, we know about the suspensions next week against the Portland Timbers. Jelle Van Damme will be unavailable. Bradley Diallo will not be available, both missing out due to disciplinary reasons. So another wrinkle dealt for Sigi Schmid. What positives can they take as they look ahead to the Timbers next weekend?
Well, I'll be interested to see if Jonathan Dos Santos is able to get his paperwork cleared for the game, and if he does, that'll be a massive boost. But you know, just going through a week like this where you have a coaching change, there's a big stress on the team, on the players, and just kind of, you know, setting new standards for the season, for expectation, for how things are going to be run. There's going to be a lot of changes, but getting it right on the field is the most important thing, and that's what I saw here tonight. So I'm optimistic about where this team is going.
In terms of leadership, you're a guy who provided it for your team. Where is it going to come from? Because in all honesty, it doesn't seem as though there's an abundance of it out there on the pitch right now. Who needs to step up and really grab this team and say, hey, let's get it together?
Well, I think because of all the changes that have happened over the past 7 months at this club, there is a bit of an identity issue, and that's being solved, right? And Ziggy is going to help that significantly. And the leadership now doesn't have to necessarily come from any one player, because Ziggy's got so much experience in this. He's going to provide a lot of it, and just giving the guys a sound voice of reason to believe in, and it's a new perspective on where they're at. And you know, I'm a little disappointed to see Jelle Van Dam go out the way he went out, because I do think he is a leader of this team. But when you're a leader of this team, you have to lead by example. You can't let those plays get away from you.
Not exactly a captain's challenge. He was on a booking and came in two-footed. As a result, he's going to be out for quite some time, possibly facing the likes of 2 matches out, meaning he is going to miss the clash not only away to Portland next Sunday, but also on the 12th of August when the Galaxy welcome NYCFC. You don't want to miss out on your captain when David Villa and Andrea Pirlo and company are coming into town. All right, the post-game show continues to roll on. When we return, we'll put a bow on this one and we'll recap all the stats. You're listening to the LA Galaxy right here on LAGalaxy.com.
It's a new era for the LA Galaxy, with new players and familiar faces. For the past 22 years, our goal has remained the same: to be the last team standing. This is LA on Saturday, August 12th at StubHub Center. 5-time MLS Cup champion LA Galaxy take on New York City FC. Purchase your tickets today at LAGalaxy.com/tickets.
Tonight, some of the greatest artists, performers, and athletes in the world will be pouring their souls out at stadiums and theaters across this city. Tonight, thousands of fans will lose themselves in a sea of like-minded strangers. We still have a few tickets if you'd like to join. We know this may not be a convenient time for you. We know it's not easy to get out. But something amazing is going to happen tonight. And we think you should be there. StubHub, your ticket out.
At Southern New Hampshire University, we have just one goal: your success. As the official education partner of the LA Galaxy, we're dedicated to helping the entire LA Galaxy family succeed. And that includes their fierce, die-hard fans. Choose from over 200 online degree programs and gain the skills and expertise you need to succeed in your field. Visit snhu.edu/LAGalaxy.
Over the course of a single game, LA Galaxy players will spend 90 minutes fighting for the ball, going on goal, sprinting, sliding, jogging backwards, running almost 7 miles, while maintaining an average heart rate of 160 beats per minute. And they'll perform at this world-class level 31 times a year, powered by Herbalife Nutrition, the official nutrition company of the LA Galaxy. To power up like a pro, contact your Herbalife independent distributor or visit Herbalife.com today.
I'm Chris Klein, president of the LA Galaxy, and we're a client of City National Bank. When we look at our organization on the field and then off the field, we want to put together a great team, and City National has become part of that team. The business side of the game starts long before the whistle kicks off, from setting the stadium up to understanding how to sell tickets to watch our great team play this game. For our business to function, we need to have a reliable bank as part of our team. Our brand grows as the sport of soccer grows, and City National helps us bring Galaxy to the world. I love my job. I love coming to work every day and being part of an organization like the LA Galaxy. It's the team across the league that everyone looks at, that everyone wants to be a part of. Anyone that we're involved with, we want to be the best, whether the players we put on the field or who we bank with, and we have that with City National. City National is the way up for the LA Galaxy.
City National Bank, the way up. Learn more at cnb.com/LAGalaxy, member FDIC.
21 games into the season, the LA Galaxy record their 5th draw, 0-0, in the second of 3 meetings against the Seattle Sounders this season. Final segment of our post-game show here on LAGalaxy.com. Happy to have you along. We hope you enjoyed it. I sure did. Dan Kennedy, somewhat of a smile. He liked it. A little good, a little bad, but certainly signs of improvement What's up next for the Galaxy? Well, LA and company, along with Ziggy Schmid, head up to the Pacific Northwest to take on the Portland Timbers on Sunday, August 6th. Kickoff time at 1 p.m. You can watch live on ESPN, or you can listen to all the action here on LAGalaxy.com. Final thoughts, Stan, before we wrap up shop here, and Ziggy Schmid on his debut.
Well, the changes have been made.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, this is, you get it, you really do this once in a season, if not once in every 5 or 6 seasons. So this is a massive step forward for this club. And the timing was important because there's plenty of season to play. And if you can get on a little hot streak heading into the playoffs, sneak into the playoffs, you really never know what can happen. I think there's enough quality on this team to be really tough to play against, and that's exactly what we saw tonight against a very good Seattle Sounders team.
2 debuts, Ziggy Schmid on the touchline, Pele Van Aanholt looking positive on the right. 4th clean sheet of the campaign, and of course that sets up an interesting rubber match coming up on September 10th up in Seattle between the Galaxy and the Sounders in the 3rd and final meeting between these two in 2017. Hey, who knows, they might meet up in the playoffs, and you know how the Galaxy might like that. All right, that's going to do it for us on behalf of the entire crew and all the good people here in Carson. My partner, Dan Kennedy, I'm Christian Miles. We enjoyed it. We hope you did too. Until next time, we'll see you next time here on LAGalaxy.com.
LA Galaxy is presented by Toyota.
Done.
Let's go places. StubHub. Hey, Galaxy fans, StubHub is your ticket out. StubHub is the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the LA Galaxy. And SNHU. See yourself succeed at snhu.edu.